Peace, peace. Peace, family. What's good? Hope everybody is good. It is Thursday. Just going for that. It's Friday. We almost made it. And we are here. Shout out to the family in the background. And I hope everybody is good. And we're going to get into it in a little bit, waiting for the missus to come through. She'll be sitting down in a minute. She's over here running her duties. YO is in the building. Say what up, YO. Say what's good.
Hi. Say how's everybody doing? What are you doing?
Y'all heard what he said? Heard what he said? It's YO. And what do you want to tell everybody?
YO.
You heard it here first. Straight like that. And that's what we doing. That's what we doing. Hope everybody is good. Hope everybody had a good week. And I hope you see the thumbnail. If you don't see the thumbnail, then just read the title when you come in on the board. And it says DIY. Do it yourself. That's a acronym. Okay. YO is doing it himself as well. He is remote controlling the remote control car. So shout out to him for that. So yeah, do it yourself, man. Y'all know what that means. DIY. He's back. He is back and he's black. So you're back with us, huh? What you got to say?
Let's day.
You just like me. I'm gonna keep my eye out for it. But is there anything else you want to tell the people? How old are you, YO?
2.
He is 3. If y'all just joining us, we are doing an exclusive interview with none other than YO. We just found out some exclusive information that he is 3. And let us, YO, what do you like to do? Do you like to run and swim? And what do you like to do?
Run.
I like to run too. What else?
The pool in now.
Okay. And that's always pleasurable, I would imagine. And I see you have a remote control car there. How's that working out for you? That's working out fine? Okay. No doubt. Thank y'all for bearing with me, man. We just chilling out. We got family in the building, so we just building with him for a second. And we will get to the formals in a second and get to the meat that's on the bones. That's going to be DIY, do it yourself with the tribe. Y'all see what it says up there, and we got some interesting conversation to have. And we're going to take it a couple of avenues. We are going to have a couple of icebreaker videos just to break up the conversation because it might get a little heated. We're going to put the link in the chat, so if anybody wants to come through and chop it up, feel free. But we're going to be talking about doing things yourself, the importance of it or not, and exactly where we're going to take it from there is going to be,
Bro, let's get straight to it. On my mama, we lit.
For us to know. So give yourself a big up for checking in. Shout out to YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, all of the regulars. Like I said, we are just waiting for the missus to come through. Right, YO? So what did you do today, sir?
I went to the park.
Okay, so you went to the park. That sounds like fun. And what did you do at the park? Did you get on the slides or something else?
The start.
Okay, that sounds fun. And did you have fun? It sounds like he had fun, and he's hitting buttons too. We definitely don't want to hit buttons during the show. we were okay to hit them before, but now we're gonna have to ease on the buttons. But that's fine though. We're still gonna be able to have a good time. You got your car right there and we rolling. So shout out to everybody checking in. Like I said, when the misses come through, we're gonna jump into the topic. Tonight is going to be DIY. That's do it yourself. And you know, we're gonna put our spin on it, of course. Shout out to everybody checking in. And hope you're ready for a good conversation because it's definitely gonna have some unique points to it and some avenues that we can take it down. And I think you guys are gonna take the discussion to a dope ass place. So what we're gonna do is we are going to get things together while the missus joins us. Hope everybody is good. And let's see. Let's go ahead and do a commercial.
Bye, people.
I heard him. He said peace. He said peace to the people.
Bye.
All right. Later, YL. Have a good day, man. You get safe home. Take care of mommy. Much love to the family, of course. All right. So what up, y'all? Hope everybody is good. And like I said, tonight, doing things yourself can be advantageous. But at the same time, there could be some cons as well. So you want to be careful about the things that you do yourself, but you absolutely want to have a little bit of meat on the bones in any aspect before you jump into any subject or area. So let's go ahead and throw this up. Of course, professional help is always suggested. Always. It's always going to be the number one go-to. And I believe the missus is coming through right now. How you doing, Mrs. Harris? Shout out to you.
Hello. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Same to you.
Did you miss me?
Here you go. I got a drink for you. Got a seat for you.
How you doing?
I'm good. Cheers to you.
How you doing, sir?
And we are
Thursday.
here. It is Thursday. And hopefully you've seen the thumbnail or you've seen the title board. It says DIY, which is an acronym for do it yourself. DIY with the tribe. That's us.
And we're on a different site tonight.
We are.
For the night.
Mrs.SheSaid's page.
So if you know
On
anybody,
YouTube.
share.
That's the only difference. So everywhere else we are the same. Harris Tribe Media Group. But tonight on YouTube, we are on the Mrs. page. That is Mrs.SheSaid.
Appreciate y'all popping in.
Absolutely.
All right. Do here.
All right. So the title of the show is Do It Yourself. I'm going to put the link in here. If anybody wants to come through, they can.
Yep, you know y'all welcome. We had a little visitor, such an awesome little person.
He is. Shout out to
So
Wyatt.
smart, so bright. Shout out to the parents.
They bring up good kids.
Welcome.
And what we're going to do is, all right, that's a little bit of
Location.
talk about doing things yourself. All right. I put up the first banner. And that banner was all right. professional help is always suggested, which we mean just that. Even though the name and the title of tonight's episode is Do It Yourself, we absolutely advocate for and agree with, correct?
And support any endeavors for finding any type of mental health counseling, mental health therapy,
Mhm.
um,
And any other
Groups.
professional help, you know,
anything.
mentors.
AAA. I mean, not
Absolutely.
AAA. AA.
If it works for you. Counselors, therapists, you know, trainers, anybody of a professional caliber that has a certain level of education in the area in which you choose to go down. But the reason why we wanted to talk particularly about doing it yourself is because there's a saying out there. If you want something done right, can you finish it for me?
Do it yourself.
There you go. That's what
Absolutely.
they say. They say do it yourself. So, with saying that, also is be careful
Yeah.
because you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with all of those
Check your
things,
sources.
the only reason I bring up all three of them collectively is because we absolutely want you to get professional help. But before you do that, you want to do a certain level of homework yourself so that you can, number one, have knowledge of yourself, of the situation,
Self-awareness is important.
and let them know that you've done the work. You've done a little bit of work, of research, of paid attention to a little detail of what's going on before you even come to them, which shows them a certain courtesy and respect. So that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about DIY, doing it yourself. And again, we absolutely advocate for professional help in all arenas.
Explain to someone what your problem is if you're not fully aware, if you don't really have a full concept of what your problem is and why you're seeking their assistance.
Absolutely. Shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes on the check-in.
Welcome.
How you doing, sis?
Welcome.
Hope all is well. Tonight we're talking about DIY, sis. Do it yourself. And like we said, we advocate for professional help at all times. But before, you might want to do a little bit of work yourself just to let them know that you're serious about your trajectory and the work that's being done in your development. And also to gain knowledge of yourself, introspective, and, you know, move forward in a positive fashion. So let's start to unpack a little bit and jump into it. Let's do the purpose. Awareness of self in preparation to show seriousness. So, you know, whatever type of professional help you're seeking, whether it's, you know, a trainer for your physical appearance, whether it's a
Dietitian.
there you go.
Weight gain, weight loss.
Absolutely. Image consultant.
Mm.
You know, all of these people, you should have a certain level of awareness of yourself, what you're trying to achieve, your goal.
Dermatologists. A lot of us go through a lot of skin issues, you know, and not aware of them and just try to use these over-the-counter things, you know.
Absolutely.
When if your insurance covers it, just, you know, schedule to go see a dermatologist, get a referral, and, you know, have them check it out so you know what kind of skin type you have, what types of makeups you shouldn't use, because all those chemicals in your face and the glues on your hair and all of those things can definitely affect your skin. So
Absolutely. So let's welcome to the panel my brother, my man, Petty Tendergrass.
Ooh, welcome, Petty Tendergrass.
What up, fam? You love y'all.
With
Shout
your
out to you,
y'all
brother.
petty ass.
Shout out to you, brother Petty.
Shout out to you.
And tonight we are talking about DIY, do it yourself. So do it yourself night with the tribe.
Babe,
And we're gonna get into
Sorry.
things that you can do yourself. That's okay. But we talking about do it yourself. We got Petty in the chat. Petty Tendergrass.
Turn them off.
Shout out
man
to
Petty
AR
is in
on the
the
check-in.
building.
What up,
Welcome,
brother? Hope
welcome.
all is well. Shout out to everybody checking in the chat.
If you haven't subscribed to my page
Knowledge and
already,
relationship.
please feel
Group.
free to click that subscribe button,
Absolutely. If
like
you-
the video, and share.
Absolutely. We are coming to you on YouTube from Mrs.SheSaid's page. Thank you for allowing us.
Anytime. My platform is your platform.
Thank you. Shout out to everybody checking in. We having a DIY night tonight, y'all. This is do it yourself night. And like we just said in the opening, we absolutely advocate for professional help. But before you get to that point, you should do a little leg work yourself, a little homework yourself. And we had a purpose for that because it shows awareness of self and it shows some preparation. It shows seriousness.
Right.
When we go into these things, we want people to know we're serious. I'm serious about my image. I'm serious about my diet. So yeah, I'm gonna let you know the things I like, the carbs, intake, calories, so on and so forth, to let you know I'm serious about this. You can't just throw some numbers at me or some jargon at me about nutrition and I go for it.
Right.
Do you think that that's far-fetched, or it's a good thing to have a little bit of knowledge going into the game?
Oh yeah, you should absolutely have the knowledge, because somebody can tell you anything, and then you're doing these things to your body, and it's not working out the way you expect. So yeah, absolutely. And that's just like you can't have listen to everything, can't believe everything you hear. So
What do you think, brother Petty?
Can't believe everything you see either.
Ooh.
most of what you see,
Right, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like you can't believe your brain for your own eyes, ears, if that makes sense. It's like, what? I heard that. You said it. I saw it, but I just don't believe it, right? Like the whole perfect example, right? The Atkins diet, right? They just rebranded it and called that shit keto and slapped it on the label and charged you $20 more.
and
But it's the same thing from
everything.
right. But it's the same thing from 1998. No carbs, eat all this bacon and this, that, and the third, but just don't eat no carbs. But fuck the salt content, fuck the sugar content, just no carbs, right? Fuck out of there. So I'm not like losing weight, bro. I'm still eating the same 10 slabs of bacon every morning. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, fuck your cholesterol. Fuck all that, but we'll just rebrand it. So be careful of what you, like y'all saying, what you see. Because it's the same shit for the 90s. It's Atkins. Yeah, that shit got tired. Okay, so let's call it keto.
Oh, Jenny Craig, all that.
You know what I'm saying? Eat whatever you want. Just don't have no carbs. But hold on. I'm just eating all this bacon now and this fried shit. That's all
All this
good. Trans
cholesterol.
fats. That's all good, right? But carbs, nah.
Shout out to Arshawn on the check. Yeah.
Welcome.
Sis said, hey, AR, they are exchanging the pleasantries. She said he is funny. He is too funny.
Red lipstick. What up, baby girl?
All right, so let's do this. Let's break the ice and jump into a video. We're talking about doing things yourself. So let's do something like this. Pull up a nice banner. So think about the things that you guys do at home. We got all types of suggestions tonight. DIY suggestion, cook at home. It's healthier options. You know what you're getting, know where it come from for the most part.
And it's cheaper.
It's dependent nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely.
My dreams.
And you may have some leftovers.
In a bowl, add sriracha and mayo, generous amounts of hot honey, a tiny bit of sesame oil, and mix. I like skin on salmon fillets, hefty pinch of salt, a dust of pepper. Get each piece lost in the sauce. Make sure they're spaced out and beautiful like you. And into the air fryer at 400. They only need like 10-12 minutes. And as always, now bismillah. It's so simple, but so delicious.
Simple,
Okay, air fryer.
but delicious.
I haven't put the fish in the air
Did
fryer
that at
as of
home.
yet.
He said about 10, 12 minutes. So, you know, we go out, we order the salmon, we grade it, but we can equally and absolutely prepare a nice dish at home. You know, we don't have to take hubby's credit card and get Uber Eats 3 times a day.
You stupid.
Let me get that DoorDash
Shout
card.
out to Vice on the check-in and Carmel on the check-in. Salute to y'all. Thank y'all for checking in.
Appreciate y'all popping in.
And tonight we're having a conversation about doing things yourself. And again, we always advocate for professional help, of course.
Absolutely.
But we think that there are many things that we can do ourselves to gain knowledge, save money, among other things. We put up one about cooking. You can always cook, you know, at home. You do that yourself.
Nobody is born a professional chef.
Right.
We lying. If they grow up in a house where that's kind of influenced, some kids absolutely start cooking really young and it becomes, you know, a passion and that's something they take into their life and they absolutely become chefs and things like that. So, you know, that's a
I
plus.
started at 8
Who
years old.
enjoy cooking. So, you know, practice makes perfect. You know, so sometimes you can absolutely perfect something that you, when you initially started doing it, you know, you really weren't doing it well.
Right.
And over some time, you can perfect it. So,
What do you think about cooking at home? DIY. Us?
I'm gonna use like sometimes you just don't want to cook at home and okay, let's go out to eat. And I get that part, but yeah, for the most part, from a nutritional standpoint, it's it's best to cook at home because like Sis said, you know what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what's going on in the back. They say it's some fresh shit, and it's like some that's probably pre-fried or pre this or pre that, loaded with like GMO, uh, MSG. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know, right? So to cook at home, you know what you're getting. You know where you got it from. First of all, like, hey, I just went and got this fresh broccoli, this fresh that. But when you go out and eat, it's like they say fresh, but that shit can be a vacuum packed, whatever pre-season,
3-4 days old.
you know what I'm saying? Properly portioned, right? All types of shit, and it's like, all right, but then you get it, and you're like, I could have did better at home and been cheaper.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you know, you just like you guys said, you know what you're getting. And I just think it's a necessary skill because like you said, we can't eat out every night. And that's absolutely realistic. But you know, on those nights where we don't have the luxury or even turn the tables, what about eating out is a luxury? Wow. That's a thought.
Yeah. I mean,
It's preposterous, but it's a thought. No,
Right.
it's not preposterous. It's actually normal.
Right.
It's
That
always
was
been a
sarcasm.
luxury.
It's actually normal, and this is the society we live in. With it's bizarro world we live in, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this, but it's like up is down, good is bad.
Like that's a part of the
Eating
deal.
out is what we supposed to do, and cooking is something that we can do if we feel like it. No,
Like
I mean,
like,
is that why
bruh.
you're so unhealthy?
Right, like at
The last 20, 25 years, too many options.
at Wendy's or Burger King, one of those fast food chains, you can get a burger, chicken fries, a fish sandwich, a soda, and 5 nuggets for $5.99. You know what I mean? But
No.
if you take that $5.99 to your local Grocery store, the most you might leave with is maybe broccoli. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like it's easier now to get all this junk food for less money. And dude, you can get 5 things: fried, and maybe grilled.
There you go.
Burnt.
Heavy grill.
You know what I'm saying? With a whole bunch of salt and shit like that. And it's probably not real beef. They say it is, but it's probably not. Right? And it's like for $5.99. Take $5.99 to your grocery store tomorrow, Seeds, and see how much you get. You know what I mean? So it's
Much.
I could get my picture on the wall up in the front. Where
right.
The people that stuff.
A handful of grapes.
Right. Get thrown the fuck out.
Carmen said peace to everybody. Shout out to her for checking in. Vice check. He says, sadly, I eat out more than I cook. I wish I had the want to cook for myself after 12-hour shift. Absolutely. You see that salmon suggestion? That was 11 minutes in the air.
Right.
Homie, right into it's cheaper to eat out than to eat healthy. And that's absolutely right.
Absolutely right.
They kind of place us in food deserts where it's easier to get, some fast food quicker than an apple. And, it's absolutely a thing here, but you definitely want to take the time to, even if you just go to TikTok to grab a quick recipe, it's a lot of healthy options that don't take time.
Yeah, it really is. It really is nice. 20 minutes, that's the most you're going to be cooking. But I definitely understand working them long shifts, and just taking that dedicated time one day that you're home to prepare some meals throughout the week and kind of vacuum seal them, is a good idea. You can Ziploc it, just pull all the air out of it and throw it in the freezer. And, it's just something quick that you can just toss together, especially living up there. It's cold a lot.
Absolutely. So you got that natural refrigeration and, lean with it, rock with it.
Remember them days you got to make them extra big meals so you have lunch for tomorrow. So that was always a way to save money as far as both working and, having to buy food while we at work.
Absolutely. So we also have another suggestion, DIY suggestion, at home workout. Again, if you're going to get a trainer, we absolutely route to go. But in the meantime and in between time, you can do an at-home workout. And let's go ahead and see what we got.
Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me go all out. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me act a fool. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me lose my cool. Up in here.
Quick, at home, don't need any instruments. Gotta get you a quick little 6-pack going.
It's a good 8 to 10 minute dedication.
Absolutely.
And if you get 5 days in, it shows. Start on the bed because that floor hurts, even with a damn gym pad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if it just makes you more comfortable to just start those types of things on the bed and then transfer to the floor on something comfortable, it works. But just like he said, anything you gotta want to do it.
Yeah, but here's always been my problem with videos like that, right? Don't show me this nigga who probably started at the gym and realized he can do the shit at home after you done paid $10,000 a fucking year and you got a 30-pack abs. No, show me that motherfucker who started from nothing.
He started from. There's no way he was born with that 6-pack.
No, son. My point is, show me the motherfucker from day one.
You want to see the gradual process.
Who was at home, right? Not
She
the
did it 3 times.
son, his ass went to the gym. I can guarantee you, he was at the gym. And then he probably realized, okay, you know what? I could do this shit at home and be for free. Show me the motherfucker who started from like
That's just
my,
assuming, but we get it. We get it.
That's what he wants
right.
to
You
see.
know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
we definitely understand. You know, people they do have insecurities, or they feel some type of shame, or they feel whatever they feel when they go to the gym. So it's very uncomfortable. Even somebody as skinny as me, they look at me and like, what the fuck she need to work out for? So I get that.
right.
That's why I said starting at home is important. Because after you shed that 10, 15 pounds, you're going to feel so good about yourself. By the time you walk up in the gym, you ain't going to care what nobody thinks, because you know you put the work in. You know what I mean? You start to see the results.
Show me that person
Me.
who started from like.
Why do you have to see him?
I'm going to keep telling
Huh?
you.
Why do you have to see him specifically, sir?
Because, son, it's like they will put somebody out there who has, okay, let's go and say, let's put this workout out, who probably work for Planet Fitness or Los Angeles Fitness or this fitness company.
We get it. We get
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
That's
Show me
specific to you.
somebody from
Richard
day
Simmons.
one who was like 400 pounds and worked his way down to 200. You know what I mean?
I can show you. I can show you.
Well,
Know
let's
a
see
lot
what
of
we
people.
got for the ladies.
Mhm.
Nice little workout for the ladies.
Nice little toner upper, but nice way to begin. Don't think doing 8 of those ain't gonna hurt you. Especially if you pulling and stretching the way you should be, you're gonna feel it. You know what I mean? So 10 reps of anything is definitely something. The more consistent, you'll see the results.
So, may I say something real
You
quick?
sure can.
Sure, sir.
So, y'all just proved my point. Y'all just showed me another skinny motherfucker. I don't want to see that. Show me somebody who went from stage 1, who
See,
worked out.
We definitely understand.
But
But,
here's
it
the
sounds
thing.
like a youth.
Hold on, who worked
could've
out,
easily pulled-
changed their diet, right? Who worked out, changed their diet, did that. You know what I mean? Like, y'all showing me this big buff motherfucker. You don't need, right? You can maintain it, but you just show me another skinny person. Show me somebody from day 1 to like day 60 who was like focused and wanted to do it, change their diet, you know what I mean? Change their life.
No, I absolutely feel
Right?
you.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely out
Like
there.
that-
A lot of people have been on a lot of weight journeys, and if we would have known that that's something that you specifically needed to see and feel more comfortable seeing, then we would have pulled it. But it's a lot of
No, we
I would have
wouldn't.
pulled it
She's lying
because
to you.
it's true.
Right. And
That it's
yes.
possible. So to see another big person do it and watch that shit go down, because it's
Okay.
happened. We watched Jen do it. Jen
Okay.
did it. You know what I mean?
Right. And
it's
I
a lot of people
feel
on
like
this
that's
platform.
You got
more
it. I'm waiting for my
I'm
turn.
done.
like
Here's
I
what I'm gonna
think
say.
that's like more motivational to show somebody from day 1 to day 60, day 60 to day 90. You know what I'm saying? That's more motivation for somebody who think that they can't do it. But if you show me a motherfucker that got a 6-pack, okay, where did he start from? You know what I mean? Like that just makes more sense in my
Doesn't matter,
opinion.
brother.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Okay, we get it. It gives you more
So,
motivation
here's the
to
thing,
see
Brother
the
Petty.
gradual transition.
it doesn't matter. You're looking for a reason to disqualify the messenger for the message that they bring. The message is just how you can have a workout at home. Understandable that you need to see a specific scenario in order for you to buy in. But look at the title of the show. When you say y'all need to show me, no, we don't. Do it yourself.
Right.
As long as I'm almost finished.
Okay.
As long as you know that the information is out there to do workouts at home, it's on you to do a little homework and research for yourself to find that resonates with you, the people who started out big and had a gradual change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
But the focus of your platform tonight is DIY, right? So don't show me somebody who already did it. Show me somebody who's doing it themselves and progress, not somebody who has like and I can guarantee you, he did not get that 6-pack in his fucking living room. He did,
There's no way you can guarantee us anything. We can only,
bruh,
we don't
bruh.
know, sir.
Like certain stuff is like no. You don't get that just being at home lifting
Oh
cheers.
my.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
No.
Okay, sir.
No.
Mrs.
Okay.
Harris.
I mean, he can think whatever he
Absolutely.
wants,
Absolutely. We can agree to disagree.
I don't want to brag on myself, but I'm about to. Shit, I was 208 pounds 3 different times,
Okay.
5 years apart, and another 9-year spread.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big girl. I ain't always been less than 130. So I'm carrying 70 pounds extra. I don't care if it's baby weight, it's still fat. It's still weight that I had to get rid of. I ain't never going no gym to get rid of it. I had to do that shit at home. I had to search out my own Tybo and Sean T and run around this house and jump up and down and go up and down them steps and squat. And I had to do that. I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, so I see what you're saying. It would have been more motivation to actually see that
the gradual
transition.
change.
Right.
So we didn't mean to.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
It would make you feel some kind of
No,
way,
I
like we're
understand.
promoting skinniness, promoting health, and the fact that you need to, some shit you got to do yourself. And you got to want to do it. If we don't want to cook, we're not going to fucking cook. And we're going to eat out every goddamn day. And you'll find out the results later. This is
like
just
Boston.
what happens. So, if you want it to get done, you're going to do it. And you're going to put that time and dedication in. And you'll see the results later.
Yeah. But a lot of folks have like high metabolisms. And it's like no matter what you eat or what you do, you're just going to be skinny. You know what I'm saying? It just is what your body burns calories faster than the average human being. Like that's a real thing, right? It's like because like my sister eats whatever the fuck she wants, and skinny as hell. And I see her place, and I'm like, "Where you putting all this food, right?" You know what I mean? It's like what the and won't gain near pound, but the medical effects of what she eats, you know what I'm saying? The high sodium, the high, you know what I'm saying? The high cholesterol content fucks up her body per se, with she'll have, like diabetes, but the high blood pressure, right? But she can eat whatever the fuck she want and won't gain near fucking pound.
Yeah. There's many ailments we can't see with the naked eye.
Right. Facts. Very fact.
Okay. So let's go ahead and share a screen and unpack a little bit of this one. Nah, it's not. We're going to take it in a whole nother direction for now. Let's do this.
Is a throwback to how Black men used to carry themselves before we got ratchet, before we started praising the lowest of the low, before we started like thinking it was cool to be dumb and ignorant and like purposely misspeaking, misspelling, sounding ignorant and dumb. Before we started praising the lowest of the low, it reeks of low self-esteem as a culture. To say, oh, this is Black if you're ignorant, but when you're not, we equate that with being white. So we're gonna give that to the white man, like they have the exclusivity rights on intelligence and class. Shouldn't we be like, yo, he's with us? You ain't Black enough because you use proper English. So we really are saying that we're not capable of elevating. But then these are the same people that want to be referred to as a king. And then you have one actually treating a woman as a queen and actually carrying himself as a king. And we're going to sit here and try to take his Black card from him because he's not acting up. He's not acting up, wilding out. It is so ridiculous. And then we say we're not a monolith. But then if you don't do these things, like you said, Q, you're not one of us and you can't sit with us. Stop doing this to other Black people. Stop making Black people feel guilty for being classy and intelligent and carrying themselves in the way that we should all be trying to aspire to be. Like, it is ridiculous that the hate for Sierra is because she moved on from a Future. So all these like Future F boys that are like him, Future lights, y'all feel some kind of way because I hit you in the gut because you feel that, right? You know your girl deserves better. I really wish we can get away from that and start praising that. His blackness should not be in question because he's not ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
We should stop. We need to stop embracing that. We ain't that.
Okay.
Mm.
Let's go ahead and let's keep him here. We ain't gonna kick him out the whole room, but we're gonna move him off the screen now and just talk a little bit before we bring her back and unpack piece by piece. So, what do you think about what she said, brother Petty?
I agree 100%, man. Like I've had family members tell me you're talking white. I said, what? No, I'm just talking. Just because I use a word that you don't know the meaning of, that does not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just how I talk. So I get what she's saying. How if like we speak with a certain vernacular and enunciate our fucking words, you know what I mean? It's like I think y'all going. All right,
Prince,
right,
making your point, man.
right,
Right.
right. It's,
Jules, come on now.
yeah, like it's like if you speak with a certain vernacular and you enunciate words, like I say car, right? It's CAR, motherfucker. It's a R in that word, not car. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you,
In my car.
right? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you this, you that. No, maybe I went to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with being black and educated and unapologetic for it. And we are the only people who gets mad at us for, like the young lady said, if you're intelligent, that does not make you speak white. It make you speak English. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like that's what the fuck I am. So I get what she's saying 100%. Like, don't be like judgmental. Maybe uplift your vernacular so we can have a decent adult conversation where if I say something and you don't know what the word means, just ask me. So what does that mean? I'm not gonna judge you for not knowing, because at one point I didn't know these fucking words or what they meant, but I heard my mom say them, and I would ask her, and she's like, "Go read the fucking dictionary and find out."
That's right.
Like that's the real thing. That's why they had these books. You know what I mean? It's books that you got to read, and I get her 100%. And we are probably, well, in my opinion, though, only people who look down on each other for being like versed in English.
Okay.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Let me welcome the sister to the stream. Shout out to Karma Coleon, everywhere social.
Welcome, Karma.
Dope artist, dope content. Hey sis, hope all is well. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, baby girl.
You on mute?
Yep, come on off, come on off. Say hey to the people.
Hey.
There she is. There she is. Hope all is well. How was your week? And what are your thoughts on DIY? Do it yourself.
I missed the last video, but my week was well. Can't even complain. I was supposed to be going to this thing tonight where like producers come and they play beats or whatever, but it's over at 9. I would have been too late, so.
Okay. Okay. Well, tonight we're talking about DIY, do it yourself. Maybe you should make your own beats. And you will always.
I tried. I don't have it. I tried it.
Okay.
I ain't
Okay.
got
Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion. We throwing out suggestions as well. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get back to our regularly scheduled program. But we're gonna unpack this video first. The young lady said that, Russell. Well, matter of fact, let me let her talk for herself.
Russell Wilson to me is a throwback to how black men used to carry themselves before we got ratchet.
That's her thesis statement. He is a throwback to how we used to carry ourselves before we got ratchet.
He's the image of the leader in the black family prior to us getting ratchet. or being a man.
I don't know if I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. What do you guys think about that statement? Carmen, what you got?
I think he's a good example for how you should carry it in these days and times. But I mean, men have been doing men for since the beginning of time, so we can only hope that our man would carry it the way that he does. And you never know how it is behind closed doors and when the cameras are off. All we know is what they post. So he can have his stuff with him too.
Okay. Okay. Do you agree with that statement, Mrs. Harris?
Yeah, we don't know,
Okay.
the ins and outs to their relationship. The media
Okay.
gives us this view. They give us their view.
Okay.
So we can only do nothing but take it, right? Everybody wants a.
I mean, let me ask you, ladies. So if a man is depicted as a quote unquote a good man in the public eye, we still have to dive further down and say, well, that's just how he's presented in the public eye. We don't know how he is when he goes home. But doesn't he have the right to be however he wants to be when he goes home? This is America. So, again, what I see is a good guy. So I just take it on what I see. If it's a good guy, it's a good guy. Now, I don't know about if
so her beginning statement was pretty much he's the type of man
right
that was the norm before we became ratchet. And I agree.
Okay.
Pretty much, whether it's father, professional,
Right.
just he holds himself to a certain moral standard that they show us.
Okay.
So Karma's just digging in. We don't know what the fuck he do behind closed doors, which is absolutely true.
Right.
So
okay.
That's all.
Okay. Let's keep.
We gotta always have the pessimistic people. Got to point out something negative.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Before we started praising the lowest of the low, before we started like thinking it was cool to be dumb and ignorant and like purposely misspeaking, misspelling, sounding ignorant and dumb. Before we started praising the
So did y'all hear when she said the purposely misspeaking and misspelling words? Do y'all think that adds to a level of unsophisticated? Spell words. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, enunciation is different, culturally. We sound different in different areas. So
absolutely,
one is not going to articulate the same in New York, like he said, car, versus going down
to Boston and say car.
So,
and even fat, like fat, F-A-T.
Right.
But if I say, I come to the hood and they're using fat, P-H-A-T, I think it's a skill if I know to use P-H-A-T when I'm writing in an Ebonics vernacular and to use F-A-T when I'm writing in a scholastic vernacular. But I think it's about being able to perform in these arenas. What do you think, Karma?
I mean, I think you got a point, when you put it that way.
I mean, again, it just speaks to the individual. Now, where you take it, you know what I mean? That's on you. What hole you go down. If you just continue to start completely using Ebonics and completely misspelling and misspeaking words to where it becomes just a part of your everyday norm, that's something. But if you're the type of person that knows, I'm differentiating. I'm talking to somebody that, fat is pretty hot and tempting. Right. But now I'm talking about fat. It's, maybe unhealthy or obese or whatever the case may be. But I think it's a skill, not necessarily how she's pointing it out that it's such a bad thing. What do you think, brother Petty?
I agree with you. One was saying my biggest thing is if somebody texts me and it's like, hey, I have your jacket or you're this or where there in your is like the biggest thing I see. And when folks spell it wrong, I don't say nothing, but I'm just like, bruh, come on, man. Like, you're 45. You should know how to differentiate these fucking words and how to spell them. Now some folks like they text how they speak, right?
Okay.
So it's like I've gotten texts, man, where it's like no fucking periods, and I don't know when to stop just reading. You know what I'm saying? But inside my mind, I know blah 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 blah. Period. Next sentence. You know what I'm saying? Next statement. But it's some folks is just like you have to know how to fucking like write, man. Like damn. Like we all went to the same school, the same this, the same that. We were in the same class.
Education.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, what were you doing when the teacher was telling you the difference between your, and your? Or there, and there. Or where, and where. You know what I mean? It's like, and I get all these texts, bro, and I just be like, come on, man. So I get that. Like, and it pisses me off, and what makes them mad is when I correct them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, don't get mad because you might text somebody for a job or whatever the case may be, and they like, yo, what the fuck you mean? You are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Absolutely. There's power in words. Knowledge is power.
in words,
And you have
right?
no excuse. And that's, why I put the thumbnail up is because when it comes to doing it yourself, it requires a certain level of knowledge. You have to do some studying and building in order to get this knowledge to do it yourself. And with knowledge, you have no excuse for getting it wrong, for not having all the parts, for not being able to go on and do something else, something greater, because knowledge is out there and you have the will to do things yourself. So continue. But let's continue with what baby girl is talking about.
Of the low, it reeks of low self-esteem as a culture. To say, oh, this is black if you're ignorant, but when you're not, we equate that with being white. So we're gonna give that to the white man, like they have the exclusivity rights on intelligence and class. Shouldn't we be like, yo, he's with us? You ain't.
Shouldn't we be like he's with us? Okay. Meaning the culture and Russell Wilson. Right. Instead of saying, he's a Russell Wilson, it's even a vernacular. It's a popular term to say a Russell Wilson type. Our culture. So, what does that say about what she just said?
I mean, are they classing him? They putting him more in the class of a white man? Is that what she's trying to say? That he is the?
She's saying that when he carries himself in a certain way, we point out that he's a Russell Wilson type instead of saying that guy's black just like us. He might be different, but he's one of us. He's with us. He's not a Russell Wilson type, making it sound like it's just different, like it's unobtainable or unique in any fashion, when she just said this was the everyday thing back in the day.
I mean, the only thing I can say is I don't think like that, because you see me, I'm so confused sitting here like, what? Absolutely. It don't even make sense to me. So, he's.
What do you guys got?
He belongs in our group, like the fuck.
Right? Like, but I mean, like, it's not like this country gives you education based on the black human experience. They don't, right? And I say that to say, like, if we're taught and we go to college and we do this and we get our masters and our PhDs and become doctors and lawyers, whatever the case may be, and you speak properly, how is that considered white? It, in my opinion, should just be considered speaking quote unquote proper English. Right now, I'm sure Russell Wilson has his nigga moments. I'm sure Barack Obama had his nigga moments behind closed doors, right? But when you're in the public eye, you have to maintain this certain. Y'all were just talking about this a few weeks ago. You have to. C's was talking about his job. Like, you have to maintain this certain decorum. Yes, I want to cuss you the fuck out because, bruh, you got this loan, you got this, that, and the third, and now it's time to pay up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And they
Yes.
might cuss at us, but it's like you have to maintain this level of professionalism, and it's sad that most people of color have to maintain this level of professionalism, or they considered thugs, or they considered outcasts, or this, that, and the third, just being ostracized just because how they talk, and that's or speak, you know what I mean? And that's kind of fucked up, but this is the country that we live in. So I have no problem with nobody black, brown, whatever, speaking to me as an adult. You know what I mean? Because I have to teach my kids how to speak as adults. You know what I'm saying? And don't just use words just because they fit into your sentence. Know what they mean in case somebody questions you on that. So I get sister's point, but it's like this is where we are in this fucking country.
It is. Let's see some more.
Black enough because you use proper English. So we really are saying that we're not capable of elevating, but then these are the same people that want to be referred to as a king. And then you have one actually treating a woman as a queen and actually carrying himself as a king. And we're going to sit here and try to take his black card from him because he's not acting up. He's not acting up, wilding out. It is so ridiculous. And then we say we're not a monolith. But then if you don't do these things, like you said, Q, you're not one of us and you can't sit with us. Stop doing this to other black people. Stop making black people feel guilty for being classy and intelligent and carrying themselves in the way that we should all be trying to aspire to be. Like, it is ridiculous that the hate for Sierra is because she moved out from a future. So all these like future F boys that are.
Let's stop right there. So he gets his own certain amount of ridicule, and then she gets some too. Is it warranted, or are we just, what are we doing?
We distracted. We ain't got nothing else better to do. Concerned in picking apart these people's lives, and holding them to a candle and putting all of us in a box under them. Pretty much, like. That, but we wanted our children to articulate well. Yeah. And on top of that, they have to go in and take these state tests, and the vocabulary is something, and they really needed to understand the difference between it. So, and I think regardless of if they come home and it's not being enforced and they're not being corrected, I mean, they're going to continue with speaking improperly and, not gaining more knowledge in a wider vocabulary. So
what you
gotta kind of do it yourself.
You do. You should do it yourself. You got this. You got to echo too. Okay, I'll take it. No, I agree with the sister. I definitely think that, you know where I stand on this. I think you should be able to perform in multiple places. I don't think you should be labeled or boxed in as anything because of vernacular, tone, cadence, and that's on all sides of the spectrum, and for some people that might say tone and cadence and delivery and all of that is important for them. For this on the other side of the spectrum where someone is articulate and, loquacious, and you should give him the kudos, same way he would get the criticism for being not. So
in a lot of our urban communities, we kind of shame one another,
right,
or for speaking well.
But shout out to him for being him and standing on his square. And we talking about doing it yourself tonight. There's so many different things that you can do yourself just to put some meat on the bones. If you want to step to a professional, they know you're serious about your work. You've been putting in the work yourself. And let's do suggestion. Date night. Remember why y'all fell in love. Don't forget that. Don't take it light on reminding the other person either. Feel free to bring up those days, to go to those days that, those spots that bring back that ambiance, that spark those memories.
Don't take it for granted.
Absolutely. I think it absolutely give you
Yeah,
guys
granted.
necessary shit that y'all need. And, let you know that you with somebody that recognizes you, acknowledges you, and appreciates you. So let's take a look at this, and then y'all unpack for me. Shout out to the young couple.
That looked like fun.
And that was a date night suggestion. They played rock, paper, scissors, and the winner gets to pick, the adventure that they're headed to tonight. So whether they're headed to a spot or to eat, the winner of rock, paper, scissors gets to pick. And, just little things like that, creating a date night. And even if it's you by yourself, finding a place that you go to sit and have a drink, collect your thoughts, think about the week, unwind, make some
yourself
goals.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do.
But you should absolutely have some sort of a date just to step back and reflect. What do you guys think about that, Mrs. Harris?
I mean, that was fun. Make you feel like a kid again. Trying to do something new. Spontaneous. It's fun.
What y'all
I
think?
gotta say real quick, y'all. I love how you guys go out so much together. Like, I think that is so refreshing to see as an outsider looking in. Like, yo, I can go out and have fun with my guy. Just wanted to point that out.
No doubt. Thank you. We appreciate that. And that's how we feel about it too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Heading out, gallivanting around with people, but it feels better. It's, it feels more natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like me and my girl, we'll, like, let's say if we don't want to go out, and sometimes we do play paper, rock, scissors, right? And she gets mad because I always win because I'm gonna pick rock. So no matter what you do, I'm gonna smash you and shit, right? So
paper covers rock though.
Now get the fuck out of here, nigga. No,
paper covers rock. Yella said only a woman view an activity as going furniture shopping. She want to go to IKEA.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm glad you said it.
Sis said, "Aw." Shout out to Yellow on the check-in. What up, my brother? Hope all is well. No doubt. He said, be out here, couple goaling. Yeah, we just living, man. You know how I go. But yeah, date night, man. Make them remember why you fell in love and take them to IKEA and get them couch.
That's true.
What you got, brother Petty?
Nah, just saying, like, me and her play that shit all the time. And like I said, I always pick rock because shit, paper covers rock, kiss my ass. Put a rock in a paper in a fight. And the rock wins.
That's the rules of the game.
Nah, damn, man, we make our own rules.
The paper covers the rock. The rock can't beat the paper. It takes a lot to shred.
But if I take that rock and I throw it through that paper is done. So yeah, I win. But you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
I get that.
Close.
It's like fun to do, and me and her thing is like, we'll have these lip syncing contests, and she thinks she's better than me, and I'm like, I smash you every time. Like, we got Rick James and Tina Marie, all types of shit. I'm like, I'm just way better, but it's like fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like fun. Like,
we'll see.
Like,
we'll see.
Such a troublemaker.
We'll judge when we get down there.
You just
dude,
better, huh?
That was like 3 years ago when me and her first met. Like, it's on Facebook and it pops up once a year all the time, and we crack up about it because we had like just mad fun. And that's the thing, be happy, have fun, enjoy your partner, man. And that's what it's about, man. Enjoy your partner. If you can't enjoy your partner, then I'm gonna tell you.
Cherry bomb. Sis laughing at us. What you got, Karma? What you got on date night? Do you agree? Even if it's just you taking yourself out for a drink?
I think date night is cool, man. It keeps you being friends. You know what I mean? My date nights be like, come on, go to this concert with me. I'm taking to dinner first. No, I don't like to do this so much. So, but yeah, I get the IKEA thing too. I'll be like, yo, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? Won't you ride with me? Grab something to eat before or after we eat, whatever store I want to go to, just to make something fun out of it. But yeah, I think it's important to have date night, just to keep friendship going. You know.
No doubt. Idea.
I'll say this though, like it's certain things, and I love my baby, but it's certain things I won't do. I don't go shopping with her. I don't give a fuck where it is, the grocery store. I don't do it because we go for two things, and we wind up getting the whole cart, and I'm like, bruh, this is not what I signed up for. I don't go shoe shopping. I don't go to the nail shop.
No, that's not it.
But you ladies, sometimes it's like, holy shit, we came here for mayonnaise, and we wound up buying the whole food line. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? That's not what I came. So
I'm not like that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Okay.
That's
yeah. I
the
enjoy
only
your
thing
partner. He agrees with us. He said, "Man, you got to go shopping. She makes sure you get something. That's right. If you want that Ben and Jerry's, you better go. Come back and be Cherry Garcia. You know you don't want no Cherry Garcia."
His ass lying. He know damn well if they go to the supermarket,
Netflix and chill.
you might get what
I
you
mean,
want, but she's got honey and peanut butter and bread, and we came from mayonnaise. Like I just can't do it, bro.
Put them honey buns in that cart.
Better be
fellas.
considerate. Make sure you get something for them.
Put the honey buns in
there. I just
no,
can't.
I was gonna say, I keep hearing y'all say, you got to enjoy your partner. You got to do this, and if you don't, da 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 da. I think that's where these new age couples have it wrong, because there's gonna be times where you're not enjoying each other.
Right.
It's how you do that shit. It's gonna happen. Sometimes you're gonna bump heads. I don't care if it takes 5, 6, 8, 10 years. It's gonna happen. It's how you get through that, how you work through that, because it's not gonna always be good times. You're not gonna always be able to go out on dates. You know what I mean? Kids start to be born, especially if you're a young couple. You start having kids. You got a kid every 3rd year. It's a baby on top of me all the time. Like, shit changes, and you got to be able to acclimate to that and each other at the same time. And that shit is hard as hell. So communication is really important. And ladies, you got to ask for help. We want to be fucking superheroes too. We want to take care of the babies all day. Don't hand off or designate some help somewhere, because I know it's a lot of us out there. I am one who do not want to ask for help. I got it, and then be burnt out. You know what I mean? So check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said
facts.
Because I keep hearing y'all say, I like when y'all see y'all go out, but there was 15 years where we did not go out, and I did not want to go out and party. You want to go out and have a drink? No. I ain't leaving my babies. I'm not dropping my babies off to nobody. You know what I mean? So there was times where we did not do that. So this is now we're older. Our kids are older. So we're able to do it now. It's more comfortable to do it now. I feel free because my children are safe. But it was hard for me when they were little to just leave them places and I'm going to have fun, because in the back of my mind, I'm worried about my babies. I'm trying to have fun, but it's kind of hard. So that was something for me personally I had to work through. But honey, he can go out. He would take himself out and go have a drink at the bar, hang out with homie right here, or whatever the case may be. And that wasn't an issue for me. You know what I mean? Go have fun and enjoy and be here with these kids.
My shit now is fuck them kids. Let's go.
I mean, I wasn't there, Muhammad. You know what I mean? And that was something he used to try to get me out. And I'm like, I'm good. I'll wait for you to come back. I'll be up when you get here. Just tap my shoulder.
Tap my shoulder.
Right. I wasn't home drunk and I'm mad. Like, you mad, you drunk, get off. You know what I mean? So it's hard to work through those times, but it is good to get out and have date night. So when you do able to do that, do it and have fun. Shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and shout out to you for just like letting, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes guys just want to, you know, it has nothing to do with y'all personally. It's like, hey, I just need to go out and be around some fucking male companionship sometimes. You know what I mean? That's what we need. And shout out to you for respecting that. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, even through the years, I would have friends say that to me, you know, he's lucky I let him. Or you let him.
Man,
And
fuck you mean you let me? I'm a
Yeah.
grown man.
let me tell you something about this man. He made that perfectly clear. I am a man and I'm gonna move.
Right.
Move. Like, I'm not his mother. I can't tell him he can't go out. He can't do
Right.
this. He can't do that. You know what I mean? All I can do is respect him, letting me know I'm gonna go out and have a drink. All right, have a good time, and I'll see you later. Like, I wasn't one of them. So, you know, and he gave me that much respect, and you know, that's all I can do is respect it, right?
Yeah, like so, like I'm just changing the subject, right? But so when my homeboys down here found out I was getting married, right? And I drove my car to their house and I got in their car, right? And next thing I know, it's 3:30 in the fucking morning. We at the fucking strip club. I'm like, bruh, I need to go the fuck home, right? So, long story short, last Friday or Saturday, it was supposed to be the guys' night, and I'm like, yo. So I told Babe, hey, you know, we gonna do this, do blah blah blah, and I drove to where my people were, and I'm like, yo. They're like, yo, let's do this and do that, and I'm like, nigga, I'm going to fuck home because last time I hung out with you niggas, I didn't wind up back home till 5 in the morning. I'm not doing that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, we evolve and have this level of respect for our fucking ladies. Like, bro, I'm going home, and I was there. For, you know, we had a few shots. We watched Game 6 of the basketball game. I had a few shots, and I came to fuck home. Like, nigga, we're not doing that whole strip club thing no more. Nah, son, I'm not doing that. So, shout out to the ladies who let their men be men.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We appreciate that. Let's go ahead and change the mood just a little bit. We're gonna have a little break, but you know, we still gonna keep it nice and spicy. So let's do this.
Million people in Southern California now ordered to cut back on using water. The region is facing a historic severe drought. Officials there just declared a water shortage emergency for the first time ever. According to these new restrictions, people can water outdoors just 1 day a week. It applies to parts of Los Angeles, Ventura, and San Bernardino counties. The restrictions begin June the 1st. The water supplier in the region reports if cities don't enforce it, they'll face hefty fines. Record drought is straining water systems all across the Southwest. And now officials say it's also threatening one of the region's biggest sources of electricity. CNBC's Valerie
It's the water, and then the water is affecting the electricity. Keep listening.
Castro live at Lake Powell near the Arizona-Utah border. Valerie.
Shep, Lake Powell is the second largest reservoir in the country, and 40% of the water here is supposed to end up in the LA Basin in California. But check out the water level behind me.
Y'all know water's kind of important to humans, right?
Absolutely. Extreme.
Everybody, yeah.
The top of the white line in the canyon there, that's where the water used to reach when the lake was at capacity back in the 1980s. The dam behind me relies on that power to generate electricity, but now that production is in danger. Years of drought have left boats high and dry over Lake Powell near Page, Arizona. City utility manager Brian Hill stunned by the sight of a dock now dangling in the air.
Normally we come down that way, and you can see that now it's a cliff wall. And the fact that the water is down, we're like 30% of lake level, and there's tens of millions of people relying on this water in the Southwest. It's disturbing. The drop in water threatens the largest power source in the region. Hydroelectric power produced at the Glen Canyon Dam is part of a collective that serves 5 million people across 6 states. 80% of that power is made here.
Bob Martin is the deputy power manager. Talk about the noise that we're hearing. What is that?
I always say that's the sound of money. The generators generate the power, and it comes to this transformer behind us, and it's put on these overhead transmission lines. It can go to Phoenix, it can go to, Las Vegas, it can go anywhere the connections are made.
But as the water level drops, it sinks closer to a dangerous threshold.
We're about 26 feet, 27 feet around that area of being away from minimum power pool. And that's the point where we can no longer generate power through the turbines.
In a proposed plan to stem that, a dam further upstream in Utah would release more water, an agreement made jointly by 4 states and the Bureau of Reclamation. If approved, 500,000 acre-feet of water, or 163 billion gallons, would flow down to Lake Powell starting May 1st. Is it sustainable in the long term to keep bringing a little bit more water down every year?
In my opinion, no, you're spending more than you're making.
But without water,
Again, a big country governed by small minds.
energy production will inevitably go down and prices will go up. The precious resource trickling away. How much of this is a climate change issue, a usage issue, a population issue?
It's probably all of the above. We can't ignore this any longer. Nature is just not giving us what we used to get, so adjustments have to be made.
1 day a week. It applies to parts of...
Okay. So, hold your thoughts. I know you have thoughts, but water is very important to humans. We all agree on that. We just saw that. So while y'all ponder that, take a look at this.
What's going on, family? I'm TJ Lofton, your business and real estate guru. I want to talk about the West Coast planned water shortage. Why do I call it a planned water shortage? Well, I call it a planned water shortage based on the simple facts is, I heard by sitting in a meeting with city officials and developers of what was to come in California's future, meaning they said they wanted to have like 10,000 more people and up in Los Angeles to change the densities, of which they did, meaning you can no longer build single family homes in certain areas. They want everything to be multiple units, meaning they don't want any more houses. They only want 16 unit apartment buildings or better. Why do they want that? Because they're trying to bring more people into the Los Angeles, California areas. So by them changing.
That's confusing because he just told us that it was a shortage of water. Made it sound really, really
detrimental to us all.
Now we have another guy saying they're requiring big construction, not just construction, to accommodate hundreds of thousands of people coming somewhere. Let's continue to listen, y'all.
Multiple units, meaning they don't want any more houses. They only want 16 unit apartment buildings or better. Why do they want that? Because they're trying to bring more people into the Los Angeles, California areas. So by them changing that density, that's going to help them to do that. So my question is, not my question, but my facts is, when you think about that, if there's a water shortage, how can you plan to bring more people in? How can you continue to build more houses? California has never stopped building houses. California has never had a problem building more houses. So if that's the case, there's a water shortage, you would not be building more houses. You would stop the developers and tell them you can't build houses. You would not be telling your city people who's always lived there that you can't water your grass. You would not tell the cemeteries in certain areas that you can't water the grass because we got a water shortage. But yet you're green lighting to bring in more people. That should not be possible. That should not even be legal. So that's why I know it's planned. They want to bring in more people that can afford to pay the $1 million+ for these homes, but they want to stress out the people who really don't have the money to go ahead and sell, and the people who don't understand what's going on to go ahead and move. So let's think about it like that, family. You cannot have more housing being built to accommodate thousands of more people. when you have a water shortage. Something to think about, family. Let's think critically. Let's think about it. But then again, how could you have critical thinking if you don't have the experience and the knowledge of developers like I do? I'm a real estate person, family, so that's why I know what's going on. But most people will go with it because they don't know. All right, family, peace.
Who to believe? What's going on?
I mean, it could all be happening. You know, if I look at the city, they just want the money. These developers coming in, they're gonna give upfront money to start building. You know what I mean?
Sis?
So either way, it's all about money.
Okay, sis checked in. She said he is wrong and right at the same time, more on the wrong side. Okay, but it's funny how it can be development in a place where it's a shortage of water. What do you think, brother Petty?
I just like to point out when a young lady in the first clip asked him, "What do you hear?" and the guy first response was, "I hear money." Right? That's
That was
first.
his response.
You know what I mean? And second, it's like the planet is 70% water. And if you think about shit logically, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, that's all desert land. It does not rain there much, regardless. That's why that song, it never rains in Southern California or Southern Nevada or Southern Arizona. It just does not rain there. But they have built these dams to filter water into these states. But if you watch the bottom of the young black man who was just talking, gentrification play. You can filter water into these fucking states. Because like I said, the earth is 70% water. Humans are 70% water. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's going to rain all the time. But in certain regions of the country, of the world, it does not rain often. But you will get rain when God decides, hey, it's time to. This shit, when my ass was in
It's a
Iraq,
rain.
it fucking rained. In 6 months, it rained for 2 days. And when I tell you it rained hard as fuck, like torrential rain. So these countries, they get rain, but it's just not where your region are. But when God decides, hey, it's time to moisture the shit, it will rain. And I've been there somewhere, dude, it fucking rained hard for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes don't sound like much, dog, but the amount of fucking rain that just torrentially poured down, I was like, holy shit. And I've been there 6 months and I never saw rain. Hot as fuck, right? So we will never run out of water, but they build these dams, they build this, they build that, and they can control that. So if I don't want no water to flow to this region of the country or the state or whatever, all they have to do is push a button, and you get no fucking water for 6 months, 7 months, 9 months.
That might not be unbelievable because I heard her, say a certain amount of water is going to trickle down starting August such and such. So you
right,
really some measures put in
so
place.
you niggas control the water now, like come on, man. Hey, nah, I'm not buying that shit.
Red lipstick checked in. She said, right, like the guy said, it is planned. It's a part of the agenda, and the water issue is not new, no doubt. What you got, Karma Coleon? What you got? Are we running out of water?
When he was talking about like the single family homes versus the like apartment condo type thing, what I'm thinking is instead of having somebody in a single family home pay $150 a month for rent. I mean, for water, they could have 16 people or apartment residents paying $100 a month.
100, right?
You know what I mean? So it's like the money is what it's really all about. There's no drought. Like he said, there's oceans. There's no drought in water. There is a drought probably in certain areas as far as with rain, but they'd rather get that 16 water bill payments than that one. That's why they don't want single family homes. You know, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Don't make sense.
Sis checked in. She said, and you have to understand what type of water. Not all rain or water is fit for human consumption. The air is so polluted, so then the water has too much acid. Absolutely, sis. Very good observation.
That's but
it has to be filtered and filtered and filtered.
Absolutely.
Right. It gets. They have inside these dams. They have water filtrations that will, because shit. But believe it or not, the same water you shit in and pee in gets filtered, and it comes right out your fucking sink.
But again, Brother Petty, all of these things are connected because that filtration system flows off of electricity. And like she said, the water may affect the electricity, which may, affect the filtration system. And, there's always going to be extra steps you have to take with the, ocean water, sea water. And so
but seas?
Yes, sir.
There is never a non-abundance of electricity. It's natural. It's always raining, and it's always, you know what I'm saying? So as long as it's rainstorms and hurricanes and tornadoes, it's always electricity, right? So like the brother was saying inside the video, that's bullshit, because the earth will always replenish itself as the earth before it does humans. Like, Mother Nature always finds a way. And we saw in Jurassic Park, right? Nature always finds a way, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, nature will always replenish its fucking self with water and rain and lightning and thunder. So to say,
you're right on that, Oz.
You know
Absolutely. But like sis said right here, you're not right in some instances. Some contaminants cannot be filtered.
True.
There's always going to be a question of whether or not the water is healthy to be consumed by humans.
Well, shit, Flint is the perfect example.
Absolutely. Flint is a great example. Absolutely. She said, just like in our water system here in Baltimore, we have COVID in the water.
Right. Which is fucking weird. Disease.
Yeah, we are that.
Which is fucking weird, son. They trying to take us out, my nigga.
No swallow.
They try to take us out. Carmacolio, don't let them do it.
Right.
They'll take you out.
Doing that, nigga. We here, motherfucker. Suck it up.
Okay. Let's have a little bit more fun before we get back to our regularly scheduled program. Let's do this. What do y'all think about this one right here?
Tonight, accused of having sex with 2 dogs and poisoning her roommates.
Okay, he sees you. It's hard not to like Spike and Jake. The 2 dogs are like family to their owner, Beverly Bradley. So when you hear that she caught her roommate, Sherry Walters, having sex with one of the dogs, you can imagine how angry she was.
There was no words. I was in total shock.
Court documents say Walters admitted to the disturbing act and said she'd done it many times before. Walters was dating Bradley's brother, who also lives at the home, until he ended it when Walters revealed her disturbing action.
Y'all heard right. Canines.
Ew.
Mrs. Harris, you was getting ready to say something?
Spike and Jake, family to their owner.
Wow.
The young lady was
right.
doing dogs. Let's finish.
Beverly Bradley. So when you hear that she caught her roommate, Sherry Walters, having sex with one of the dogs, you can imagine how angry she was.
There was no words. I was in total shock.
Court documents say Walters admitted to the disturbing act and said she'd done it many times before. Walters was dating Bradley's brother, who also lives at the home, until he ended it when Walters revealed her disturbing actions.
He said I could be with somebody like that.
And if you think this story couldn't get any stranger, the day after Beverly says she found Walters having sex with her dogs, court documents say she put rubbing alcohol in both her and her brother's water and put dish soap and toilet bowl cleaner in their food. Her exact words were she would stop trying to kill you if Jeffrey would be with her.
Yes, that's psycho to me. I don't understand it.
Walters now faces charges of animal cruelty, aggravated battery, and assault. Both of the dogs suffered minor injuries.
Hey, yo, sis is on me. My sister's on me. She said, brother, stop it now, yo. I can't.
Hey, what the fuck is that, yo?
We about to take it to that part of the shit. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yo, the dog, though, Mrs. Harris. The dog?
I mean, it's weird because we used to. I even got into like not even like a heated argument, but it was like we used to watch one of them old time movies, and they were sending all the men off to war, and he was making claims that you see how everybody got these dogs, and women is sleeping with them dogs, and I'm like, wait, what? No, it ain't that. No, it ain't that. And then years later, when my niece is a teenager, she told me some stuff, when the internet first started coming out, and I'm just like, this is insane. So, wow.
And then trying to poison her.
But she was dating homeboy in the house. You feeling freaky?
Right.
So the dog do it better? Wait a minute.
Brother Petty, what you got, Brother Petty?
Have you seen the dog dick, bitch? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? So you like, shit, man. Like, they make babies, but they don't have the biggest schlong. you fucking that?
Sis said no.
You got issues, bro. You got, like, serious fucking issues.
And she said that wasn't the first time. This is something I do on a regular. Watch out,
right? Like
around people. You ain't just gotta watch your kids now. You gotta watch your animals too.
Right? Like, bitch, are you fucking my fish too? Like, what the fuck going on when I'm at work? Bitch, fucking the dog, nasty. And then you wonder why we got all these diseases. Yeah. And look, I ain't trying to get y'all blocked or nothing like that, but I say this all the time, and no disrespect, but I don't believe that white people is from this fucking planet. Cause you can't be, because the thing that sustains life kills y'all. The sun, it kills them, and y'all doing all this crazy wild shit, man, and like, what the fuck?
What happens to us mixed people then? Well, we half alien.
hey, half is half. Half is half.
Alien. I always thought I was.
You know what I mean? Like, shit, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you fucking a dog?
That's crazy.
Come on, AJ, what you got, man? Welcome to the
AJ,
panel.
what's up,
How was
brother?
your week?
Yeah. Everything is good. Everything is good. But it ain't just white people doing it, bro. Just letting you know.
Feel free to unpack.
Nah, it ain't nothing to unpack. It's just know, like, it's a whole thing. It's called bestiality if you want to Google it.
We know the word. We absolutely know the word.
Yeah. I don't want no parts of that. That's the weird shit.
Right. It's some shit you don't even want to talk about. It's like, nah. Like,
I mean, but I mean, you would think that it's just some, Caucasian shit, but it's really not. It's really not. It's just some people.
Yeah, but
so can we write this off as sexuality?
It
is.
Yeah,
they are attracted to animals, like the people, like they are, like they. It is weird, bro. Like the dog is the man of the house.
I mean, I scrolled across a Asian looking man because I'm not really wasn't sure, but an Asian looking man having sex with a chicken.
Mm-hmm. Chickens, goats, cows, horses. Fucking a girl tried to have sex with a horse. You know how big a horse is?
That's I've heard.
Pause.
Yeah,
But
men
still,
too. Exclude the men.
Heard, motherfucker. I've seen. Like, why
what
you
the
fucking
fuck?
a horse, bitch?
Okay. So AJ,
Listen, that shit is weird.
our topic tonight is DIY. That's do it yourself. We just took a little step away just to break from the monotony. We're going to get Karma Coleone's thoughts on the video if she would like to chime in. And then we're going to continue moving forward. Sis, what you got?
I just, like he said, it's bestiality, and it's like that's part of what we learned in the Bible as, you know, a sign of the last days. And if you look at the lady, she looked a little off anyway.
Right, those eyes.
So, you know, it looked like mentally maybe she just probably couldn't get a man. So she was like, hey, this dog is here. You know what I mean?
Man was living in the
I feed
house.
him. I pet him. He loves me. So let me, you know, whatever
But
twisted thing
she was
in her
boning the
mind.
dude in the house though. So that ain't the case.
Get in the house.
The boyfriend was in the house.
Yeah, but she was boning the dude in the house. So she
Well,
got a
maybe the
man.
boyfriend wasn't giving her what she wanted.
Nah, she just
I
liked the
don't
little
know. All I
like the
know
little
is
dog pickle.
that's a sign that these are the last days.
Okay. Okay.
They been going on forever.
Yeah, you ain't
right since like Greek days.
Okay.
That what's it called? What's the guy named? Caligula. Shit.
Okay.
All right.
Do it yourself. We have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Tame yourself. Mrs. Harris, this is one of her suggestions. And something that we both noticed that sometimes we can act a little juvenile. All of us.
Out of
to
control.
exclude us. Because we all have our moments. But it's under our control. That's ultimately the triggers, figure out coping mechanisms on how to deal with things you might not agree with. And before we unpack, I'm going to play a quick video.
Knowing when to walk away.
Seconds to give you advice on how to be disciplined, I would tell you this: do not focus on what you're doing, focus on why you're doing it. When your actions are backed with good reasons, doing those actions become much more easier. He who has a why can bear almost any how. Victor Frank.
Y'all heard that? Smart young man. Let's take it piece by piece.
If I only had 15 seconds to give you advice on how to be disciplined, I would tell you this: do not focus on what you're doing, focus on why you're doing it.
What about that? Don't focus on what you're doing. Focus on why you're doing it. Let's go with Brother Petty.
Yeah. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, my pastor had that sermon. He's like, your habit at some point in your life becomes your discipline. You know what I'm saying? And it made a lot of sense, like your habits. And so until you change your habits, then your habits can be good or bad, right? But if you're undisciplined, then your habits will always be habits, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a habit of just constantly eating out or being unfaithful or whatever the case may be, right? And I'm glad you like showed that video, man, because it resonated deep. Like if you don't change your habits, then you won't change your discipline. And till you become mad at these bad habits, until you become mad at these bad habits, your life will never change. You know what I'm saying? Until I became at the like became mad at the fact that hey, I drink too fucking much, or I'm, you know what I'm saying, or I'm just screwing too many chicks, whatever the case may be. Like until I became mad and I changed my habits and it became my discipline. That's when I, you know what I'm saying. That's when things started
Absolutely.
to change. So I get what the guy is saying, man. It's like you have to change your habits first, man, and your habits that you change or you don't want to change. If they're good habits, that's great. But if they're bad, those habits become your discipline, and
Absolutely.
you know what I mean. So I get
Absolutely.
it, 100%.
Checked in. Red Lipstick said, the white woman and the dogs. Daddy said when he was in the army, a dog and a woman got stuck and had to go to the infirmary to get taken apart. Lord, baby.
Yeah.
That was some loving going on, huh?
Hey.
Goodness gracious. So, it's not unknown. It's not a new thing.
Right.
So
It's not something we just made up.
I definitely
Saying.
Okay. And we got Intellectual Soapbox in the building. What up, my brother? Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody over there on that team. Shout out to Mr. Best, E3, the whole crew. And he says, shout out to the Harris Tribe, Knowledge and Relationships. We in the building. The Intellectual Soapbox is in the building. Pleasantries getting exchanged. Yeah, so, not a new thing. Let's go ahead and bring them back.
When your actions are backed with good reasons, doing those actions become much more easier.
So forget what you're doing. Focus on why you're doing it, AJ. And when it's back for good reasons, only good things is gonna happen. What you think about that?
I agree with that 100%. If you like, if you have a reason why you're doing your things, the things that you're doing, then you have more motivation than if you was just there, content with what you were doing. You don't really have a real reason why you're there. You're just there. But if you have a reason why, like for me, mine just so that my kid is going to be good. So right now, I go through all the grit, all that banter, all that extra stuff. At the end of the day, kid's gonna be great, and I'm gonna be a great dad. That's all that matters to me.
No,
That's why.
shout out to you. No doubt. I agree with
Shout
you.
out to the
What you got, sis?
Clintons.
Karma Coleon, where you at? What you got?
I'm right here. Well, I mean, I think that, if something is bad, it's bad because it's kind of embedded in us, thanks to God, that we can, discern what's good and what's bad for us. So if something is bad and you know it's bad and you just continue to do it, that's because you don't want to stop, you know. So, like, my thing is, like, how he said he wanted to be a good dad. My thing is, like, with music. You know what I mean? I always bring everything back to music because that's the love of my life.
Absolutely.
But I do it because I want to save souls. It's not for the gratification of getting up in front of people. I don't like really being in front of a whole bunch of people. But once I get on the microphone, it's like it's over. And you know what I mean? I do what I got to do because if I can just change one person's mindset, if I can just help one person heal themselves and stop the bad habits, even though I have my own, then I've done my job. I'm doing God's work, So I think that, if you want to change, you can. If you don't, you're not going to. That's all I got.
Okay. That was pretty good. I mean, I agree with the young brother. I think that, you should definitely focus on who you're doing it for, not what you're doing. It's, and I think it just speaks to a bigger goal. It speaks to commitment.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll probably never get rich from rapping because of what I talk about. You know what I mean? Okay. But I do it for a greater purpose than just being famous and just for the money.
Mrs. Harris?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would equate that to a time of being depressed and, you know, just really in a funk. You know, you had to want to do something. So changing my eating, changing my exercise, or adding exercise into my life, you know, um, creating a stronger bond with hubby, like all those things were things that was needed, you know. So I had to put forth that energy. You know what I mean? It was something I had to do. Couldn't nobody push me to do it, you know. It wasn't a motivation I could get from him. It was an inside me thing that I needed, that desire to want to change the way I was feeling. You know what I mean?
Yourself.
Had to absolutely do it myself.
Okay.
You know.
Let's finish up with the young man.
He who has a why can bear almost any how.
He who has a why can bear almost any how. So, you know.
I want to feel better. You feel better, you do better, you be better. So
I agree with the young man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the why.
That goes back to if it's a will, there's a way.
Okay. So how about this, y'all?
He's a transition from Muhammad, because AJ was a large.
How about this?
Guy.
If there is work to be done and you don't do it, what are you?
Lazy? The first word that come to my head: if there is work to be done and you don't do it, what are you?
Me, a procrastinator.
Another one, good one.
Okay. Karma Coleon.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
It's a question. The question is, if there is work to be done and you don't do it, what are you?
And procrastinator, and you're going to disappoint God because He's using you. I feel like if there's something inside of you that you have to do, then what you're going to have to do is do it. And if you don't do it, you're basically telling Him, "Forget you. I'm worried about, worldly perceptions." And like, I'll post my videos and my music, and I'll get like 3 or 4 likes, if that. You know what I'm saying? But at least I can say that I was a witness. You know what I'm saying? I was trying. So that way, when I gotta go face Him, I can do it with my chin up. And yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Absolutely.
Show them won't stop, won't quit.
Mrs. Harris, what you got?
Yeah, I
You
said
lazy.
Is it lazy? It's a little bit lazy.
Anybody disagree with that?
I didn't. It skipped. I didn't hear what she said.
You work,
you get paid. You don't see the thing right here?
Oh yeah. I see that. I thought she
you
said
work, you get
something that I
paid.
meant.
And it might not be monetary, but you do the work, you see the payoff.
Absolutely.
You do those crunches in the room, that 6-pack is gonna show up. Ours might not believe, Brother
Just
Petty
gonna
don't
lift up.
believe it. But you could stay right in the house and it'll start forming. It might take a little bit, 6 months. But it's gonna
once
form.
you get a little
It's
more
gonna
confident
form.
after you've been doing it from home, then you feel a little more comfortable going to the gym.
But you definitely gotta work.
You
What is
on
that?
mute.
What is that you working on? He looks
that?
like he's holding up broccoli. Is
Broccoli, my dude.
that broccoli?
Nice too.
Shout out to the brother for the broccoli
What you
moment.
put on that?
Don't
You so
box.
petty.
He's doing the work. He's doing the work. You work, you get paid.
You was with
All
us, Miss E must have cooked.
So
Nah,
what do
I ain't cook.
is if you work, you get paid. So let's do it yourself plumbing. Check me out.
Your plumbing tips. After you learn it, the repairman loses his job. 1. The sink is blocked by Dad's hair. First, remove the exposed hair. Add 2 tablespoons of baking soda to the drain. Pour in half a pot of boiling water and then sealed with cling film. Wait 30 minutes. Remove the cling film. Turn on the tap. The sink will be unobstructed. 2. The bathtub was blocked by mud from Dad's body. Pour a spoonful of salt into the drain. Take a free candle.
Everything is dead.
Why
Right.
dad?
Dude, I'm just about to say it like so. It's all here down there.
You know that ain't true.
Dad
That's
is the
all girls.
greasiest, hairiest, dirtiest thing in the house.
That's fucked up.
After ignition, drop the candle oil into the drain. Wipe out the candles from the drain. The pipes will be unblocked. 3. After dad went to the toilet. The toilet was blocked. Find mom's ice cube tray. Add baking soda to each grid. Then pour in the Coke. Get it in the fridge and freeze it for an hour. Take out the ice and throw it down the toilet. You don't have to do anything. Just wait for it. The toilet will be unclogged automatically. 4. The shower room is blocked by daddy's mysterious grime. Give me mom's grater. Crush the onion into pieces. Add
Dad got all the problems. Mom got all the solutions.
Dad is crazy.
the water. Let stand for an hour and filter out the onion crumbs. Pour the onion water into the sink. Wait for an hour. The pipes will be unblocked.
How you doing?
That's it.
How you doing?
How you doing?
We are doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I had a good day. I'm
It's
getting
my
dark.
2020 twin.
That is so good. Good days are always better than
Big
good
thing.
times.
Night.
Loving their hair.
It's a little wet. It's a little shrinkage, but thank you. Look whose shirt I'm wearing too.
Mine.
Ain't not finna get it.
Shout out to my dog,
They
baby.
grew up
right
so
there.
fast.
She's
I love you.
awesome.
Good night.
You have a great night, beautiful, and be
No.
good to your daddy. He knows everything.
Take someone upstairs for me, please.
I had a question about the candle one. You said something about melted candle wax, and it was
That is
about
correct.
the tub.
That is correct. Hey,
I ain't heard that one.
you don't know. That's the thing. You
Yeah,
don't
right.
know.
But the candle,
So-
like, because candle wax
but
dries.
he did something before the
Right,
candle
yeah.
and then
I'll have to
added the
look at that
candle
again.
to it. So let's go ahead and give Mrs. Harris one more go at it. So she gonna say we weren't being fair.
Tell your plumbing tips after you learn it. The repairman loses his job. 1. The sink is blocked by dad's hair. First, remove the exposed hair. Add 2 tablespoons of baking soda to the drain. Pour in half a pot of boiling water and then sealed with cling film. Wait
Baking soda is used for more than, let me stop right there.
30 minutes. Remove the cling film. Turn on the tap. The sink will be unobstructed. 2. The bathtub was blocked by mud from dad's body. Pour a spoonful of salt into the drain. Take a free candle. After ignition, drop the candle oil into the drain. Wipe out the candles from the drain. The pipes will be unblocked. 3. After dad went to the toilet. The toilet was blocked. Find mom's ice cube tray. Add baking soda to each grid. Then pour in the Coke. Get it in the fridge and freeze it for an hour. Take out the ice and throw it down the toilet. You don't have to do anything. Just wait for it. The toilet will be unclogged automatically. 4. The shower room is blocked by daddy's mysterious grime. Give me mom's grater. Or the pipes will be unblocked.
And that's do-it-yourself plumbing right there.
Okay.
So you
I
know,
just like to point out that mom always loses more hair than dad. Just saying.
if you in a jam,
Yeah, I mean, it ain't us.
He's a hairy caveman, because some people are pretty freaking hairy.
you ain't got nothing.
All
I'm not
over.
messing with the It Depend posse.
Yeah, but who
If you ain't
takes
got nothing to lose,
more
you
showers?
already clogged up.
Who-
So give it a shot.
Who takes more showers?
We
Oh,
talking
wow.
about the message. We
Yeah.
ain't talking about why
We
you
want to
always
debate.
do that. Why you always
Why you want to make it a debate about
No,
me?
because it's
I mean,
like he just
Absolutely, I
said
take more
like
showers than he do.
no. All I'm saying is they were saying, dad's hair down the drain and dad's hair
That's
this
right.
and dad's this. But who takes more showers? Mom.
At least there's dad in the house.
I mean, by the second dad, you knew that was a mom that made that post.
Right.
Right. So stop it.
So we
Be
roll.
equal or be not.
But
That's
that
what
was some more do-it-yourself tips. Let's go ahead and see what else we got. Let's see if y'all trying to get money.
But fuck that. I'm calling Mexicans if something in my house break.
Okay.
About
Yeah, y'all heard what he said.
$225.
He said he is not calling y'all to do anything in his house. He calling Guala Guala.
Better get you your own snake from the dollar store and stick.
Well, who
Right.
is more racist, son? You said Guala Guala. I said Mexicans.
Swallow, swallow. All right. If you want to learn how to do it yourself, you can send
way to make your money work for you. You work super hard and go out there and get that paycheck at the end of the week, that sales commission check, that wholesale check. But most of you don't know how to duplicate that money, right? But guess what? I'm gonna show you a blueprint that I've utilized, right? You go out there and you get that one check, you only eat for yourself. But me, I take that money and I go buy a self-storage facility, an apartment building, and now my son is gonna get paid forever. That's the difference.
Shout out to Mobile Lifestyle on the check.
Young man on his purpose.
And that is one of my young fellas. I love him dearly. Played on the college team that I coached. Went to my alma mater and turned sugar into shit. I'm going to be honest with y'all. He is, worth a lot of money at this particular time, from real estate, from storage units, from multi-family, properties, and he's absolutely certified. So, check out Mogul Lifestyle everywhere social. And he's absolutely authentic from the streets of Bedford-Stuyvesant. So,
y'all can get it too.
He's absolutely official. So if you want to do it yourself, you want to get some financial savvy, no matter where your credit is, no matter what your situation is, he has avenues and routes that you can take. And not just him. I'm pretty sure there's somebody in your circle that, has the same knowledge or, maybe even better. So that's just a DIY for financial growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's always ways that we can do things ourselves before we get to the professionals. Again, we always advocate for professionals. Don't ever think we just saying to go out here and be your own therapist and pull your own car out the ditch after you done drove it in there, because you are not a driver and a tow truck driver. You're not. So what we do is we always advocate for professional help. But before you go to them, you need to do a little work yourself. Let them know you serious. Let them know you know
what you need. You know what you want.
And they can't just sell you any product and just push it over to you. Here you go. This is what you need. This placebo. And you're like, wait, it says placebo on the front. And they're like, yeah, that means it's extra strength.
Mm-hmm. For the quick fix.
But if you don't know nothing, you're like, okay, give it here. You don't know placebo means it's nothing.
Right, sugar.
So, again, knowledge is power. But when you get knowledge, it's no excuse now. Now you got to do it.
That's what I say. Everybody needs somebody sometime. I don't give a fuck. Everybody needs somebody sometime.
Okay.
But pride always cometh before the fall, right? That's the Bible.
Good one. We always get better as we go along. We're getting close to the end. Check this out. DIY suggestion. Create abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Fill your cup.
Fill your own damn cup.
Fill your own cup first. I know you love your kids. I know you love your significant other. I know you love your boss. I know you love all of them. But you knew yourself before any of them was even in the picture. You was walking down the street with yourself, by yourself. So don't forget that. Make yourself happy. Do the things that fill your cup so your cup can fill and spill over into their cup and fill their shit up.
Yeah.
What you think about that, AJ? Let's start with AJ.
I agree with that 100%. I ain't got nothing else to add to it.
My man. Karma Coleon, what you got? Brother Petty, what you got?
What's the question? I'm sorry.
Fill your cup. Create abundance. You got to be good first before everybody else could be good after you.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like you have to be right with God first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like, God doesn't promote stagnance. you have to move, right? If you want to be blessed in whatever you do, you have to move. You have to do something, right? And yes, to fill your cup, yes, but if you just not doing nothing to fill your cup,
Mm-hmm.
then like God don't bless wishes, right? You know what I mean? So it's just like, what are you doing to make yourself better, and you'll get blessed, man. And hey, and I'm the prime fucking example. I promise you this. I'm the prime example of when you put God first, nothing is impossible. I'm the prime example.
No doubt. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, Mrs. Harris.
Blessings.
What you got? Fill your cup. Create abundance.
Yeah. Um, that's where the self awareness and looking out, searching out for therapy if that's something you need, to get yourself together. um, yeah, you gotta fill your own cup. You can't expect somebody else to make you happy. You know, you can have fun and enjoy each other's time, but to expect that person to do things specifically to just make you happy, it's a bit much. It's a high expectation for someone to live up to, especially if they don't know what you want. Okay. So
yeah.
Ladies, y'all still here? I got one for y'all. Ladies, trigger warning, but we got DIY suggestion tip. She just did her own hair. Probably saved $600 or $700.
Right.
Thank for that hair. Right.
But
right.
before y'all unpack, ladies, before y'all get to going over there and doing y'all hair like that, I want y'all to take a look at this right here, real quick. And okay. Where'd it go? Did it leave? Mm-hmm. There it is. Okay, ladies.
And today I'm making this post to warn my queens. I'm sending out a PSA. Please, let's stop using a chemical compound that has been listed as a carcinogen. The two chemical compounds are acrylonitrile and vinyl chloride. These two chemicals affect the endocrine system, meaning that they affect the glands in the body, the hypothalamus gland, the pineal gland, the thyroid gland. How many people dealing with thyroid issues? The ovaries. It has been known to cause endometriosis, breast cancer, reproductive problems. It has been studies done in rats that these things can kill you. So why in the world are they allowing this to be put into our head? It's put into our head, it is absorbed through the skin, and some of us are inhaling it. And the end result is it's a carcinogen. Stop putting this in our young queen's hair.
Okay. So
wait, y'all. So is she talking about the braiding hair?
that's exactly what she said. She said braiding.
Oh, that's so sad.
Braiding hair. So why I played it is because, again, just like the water, which one is which way is up, and DIY, just like the food, do it yourself. You know what you're getting. Get specific hair. If you have to get hair from outside, get a certain quality, get a great quality, because it's going in your head, seeping into your system. So I think you want to monitor it. But what do you guys think about those two clips? The doing your hair at home, but you definitely want to be careful of what kind of hair you're doing to yourself at home.
I mean, it's sad that it's not a lot of knowledge about that. It ain't like we have like hair care classes for our type of women. You know what I mean? Instead of having to go to like cosmetology class or growing up with somebody who was very insightful and knew what about the hair stuff. But like that should be something known that hairdressers make aware. That this type of hair does this to your hair. versus this type of hair. And
Sis
that's
like
why
the
you
hairstyles.
spend them $300 to $500 to $600 worth of money, because they're putting that good hair in your hair versus the store pack that's $3-4. So you be mindful of
Sis said you're
chemicals.
supposed to wet it before you use it.
I don't know about any of that, but the FDA shouldn't be having, shouldn't okay products for our hair care that's gonna
Can
give us
possibly do these
all
things to
types
you.
of shit. Because our hair is looking real fucked up.
Okay. What do you think, Carmichael? What you think about the hair? And she did. She said braiding hair, but she also named the technical name, Kankaline hair or something.
I don't get my hair braided, so
Okay.
you know.
She said wash
I
it.
can't
Washing it
DIY.
But I was just saying, my oldest daughter, she broke out every time she got her hair braided, like when it would touch her face and her neck. So she stopped doing it too. So I kind of like learned through her. Like, I would like the convenience of braids, but I just don't want to go through the whole. Because I figured it was something in it, you know.
Sis said wash it, and that'll neutralize it. What do you think, AJ?
You got levels. Well, I used to date a girl that does that. So there's levels to weave. So like you get what you pay for, like what you with any other product. Like you got some weave that's $20, like Nikki said, and then you got some weave that's a car payment that you can take out, wash, reuse, and things like that. Whereas though the other ones, after you use it, you have to throw them in the trash. So like it's you got to get quality over quantity at this point. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. And a lot of people go the cheap route because they're looking for the cheapest way to get the great look. And that's why you got a whole lot of bald head females out here.
Okay.
I mean, there's different types of hair. So the frontals and the wigs is a different type of hair versus the synthetic hair that they put in for the braids.
Okay.
Exactly.
Braided hair, you can't take that bundle and wash that.
Right.
Braid somebody's hair. That's not even possible. You know what I mean? Unless it's like really good hair,
Right,
like you
'cause it's
said.
all
Because
loose and-
even
But maybe
the highest expensive hair braiding synthetic hair to put in your hair, you can't wash that shit. Like you're gonna be able to comb it, and I don't know about that. But yeah, the wigs and shit. Yeah, you should have a good quality hair, so you should be able to wash it.
Well, like AJ said, it's right there, man. Be careful. You get what you pay for. And that's, what we said in the beginning of this show. It's a cliche that says if because you get what you pay for. And when you do something yourself, you're paying zero.
Right. I mean, people think it's, and a lot of women think it's better to go to the braid, the people who braid the hair and it's really, really tight. Like when you pull and stretch some follicles, you're ripping that hair out. So that's when the chemicals from that other hair, is seeping into your body.
Sis say you can wash all braiding hair before you put it in. It is recommended even on the packages.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
That's dope.
Must be some real cheap hair.
Some people bypassing that warning label or that suggestion. So these suggestions are important. We have them right up here. What about this one right here, y'all? Family meetings. A lot of people talked about, the different family dynamics, how to get things across if you want to set some goals. And this is something that we incorporated into our family a while ago. Kind of fell off, and we're going to plan on bringing it back. But it's definitely something that we need to just all be on the same page, help people with their goals. If they're struggling in any areas, we can all help out as a unit. But I'm going to play a clip, and y'all let me know what y'all think about family meetings.
Green eyes, fried rice, I could cook an egg on you. Late night game time.
Did y'all get that? Let's go back. 5 steps to an effective family. Include everybody. even the little babies. Start with compliments for everyone. Have an agenda everyone can add to. Agenda ideas, weekly schedules, so on and so forth. You know how your family runs. Encourage the kids to brainstorm solutions and decide on the best one. And end with something fun. It's not bad at all.
Not a bad idea.
And again, it sounds corny, sounds cliche, but you know, it don't run like that in your family. Y'all can add a little seasoning to it. Y'all can add a little flavor, but it's just a way to get on the same page. Find out if anybody needs any help with anything.
Right, because you know everybody doesn't want to ask for help. You know, and you know when our kids get older, they shy away from the hard conversations. They don't want to be judged or criticized or whatever the case may be. So you know, starting with compliments is a plus if there's something to compliment.
Absolutely, I like that too. Well, not like that. Hopefully.
No, but that's a nice little 5-step plan to strategically trying to have a family meeting.
Brother Patty, give me some of that Kool-Aid. That look like red Kool-Aid.
Nah, that's that tea.
Oh, yeah, it's before the Kool-Aid, the hot sauce. Karma Coleon, what you got? Family meetings? Yay, nay? What you say?
Hold on, what was the question again?
Family meetings. Are you for
Family
them?
meetings?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my mom will call a family meeting like every maybe 2 months. She's like, look, we can't keep on going on like this. We need to have a family meeting. Even if now, because thank goodness for technology, you know, we get on a call with me, her, my sisters. You know what I mean? If it's time for a meeting, then we're going to meet. So I'm for it. I'm all for family meetings. Me and my girls have family meetings damn near every night. Like, we need to make sure that we know what's going on with all of us.
AJ, what you got? Family meetings? Yay, nay, no?
Never had one, but I mean, I can't see it where it could be a bad thing. So I can be for that.
And when you say you never had one in the family you grew up in or the family you created or what?
Period.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have that. So, you know.
Those are good things to do, man.
Have them all together, you know, to just using that 5 steps might be a good plan for you. Just so they know they have a view into, you know, daddy's leadership. Daddy has a plan for what's going to happen, you know, and always speak positivity and optimism into them, you know, which is something you do. You're just a fun guy.
Absolutely. And they feel good about having to say so. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Having a little bit of participation in the democracy, so to speak. They feel like they're sitting on the council a little bit. What do you say, Brother Petty?
I'm just saying, like, you'll be surprised. I don't know how old your kids are, but you'll be surprised of their thoughts and their feelings, man. Like, you'll be surprised, like, wow, I have no idea. You know what I mean?
Oh no, my son be getting in my ass, bro.
Right.
My son 8.
He gonna hold you
in my ass, bro.
Yeah. Like, those are good things, but it's not just your son. It's like your wife or, you know, girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't got one of them. I'm big single out here.
Ooh, he's saying big single ladies, y'all.
Whatever you deal with that's in your son's life, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are things, like, man, it's real important, and you be surprised. Like, you think you know shit, and they just be like, nah, bro. You know what I mean? So just like try it once and just see what happens.
Let's change the mood a little bit. Let's do this one. Y'all check this out. Mrs. Harris, you good? All right. Watch this.
Shout out to broccoli. I love broccoli.
Shout out.
Don't ever touch me again. Get the For the first time, we're hearing exactly what happened back in November when Sunrise Police Sergeant Christopher Police grabbed the throat of another officer.
Hold on, I got a cramp in my leg. Hold on, my leg.
The entire situation started when officers were responding to reports of a fight and a battery. But the man they were looking for, Jean Similien, was being uncooperative and even threatening.
I told y'all. So are you threatening? Are you threatening after that? I'm just saying, are you?
Similien was eventually taken into custody, but he struggled with officers who were trying to get him into the back of a police car. That's when Sergeant Police, a 21-year veteran of the department, pulled up and escalated things, pointing pepper spray at Similien, who was already in the back seat, and threatening him.
You want to play? So I'm gonna get disrespectful.
It's at that moment that the female officer, who had only been with the department about 2 years at the time, ran up and pulled Police back by his belt. He responds by grabbing her throat before moving his hand to her shoulder. Police walks away briefly before coming back and saying this.
Everybody turn off their cameras.
I know he ain't no more, right? He ain't got no job.
Your camera off.
You gonna lose your job. You gonna lose your job.
Why you think he told him to turn his cameras on?
Because it's about to get ugly.
For pulling his punk ass.
Because it was about to go.
And I hope he got in trouble for assault for fucking putting his hands on her damn throat. Or her husband went to see him about that.
He got away with that, I'm sure.
But again, you know, that's that soapbox that I stand on when I be saying it ain't no serpicals out here. I don't see none of the good cop. But look, you do see one. There was one. She said, hey, unnecessary.
Right.
What was her reward? And again, that blue wall. Remember when I said they got to pick a side sooner or later? It's absolutely true. You have to pick a side. You have to let them do whatever they want without impunity.
As soon as he pulled up, he was aggressive. Like, she was there from the start to the beginning. So we already got him in the back seat. You coming with your spray, doing all of this. That was horrible.
And what's bad is it's a big fucking black buck. And I use the word buck loosely, but
it was all suckers. They standing there like, oh, good.
Right.
Turn off my camera now.
It's a big black guy who wants to be, you know what I mean? Like, nah.
Just unnecessary. And, you know, again, she tried to step in and do something, and there he go with his shit. And, you know, y'all tell me.
What I would like to know is what happened to her.
Different.
Right, but
bad apples and one good apple.
Before you go, hold on.
New Jersey, and it's wild. What's going on with cops in New Jersey? If you're not aware of it, you need to be aware of it. This guy's name is Michael Sheff, right? He was a sergeant with the Patterson Police Department in New Jersey. He led a group of officers to go around robbing citizens. They just went into citizens' houses. They would catch them on the streets, at their jobs.
Wow.
Quick now, brother Petty, you were gonna chime in. Let's go ahead before we continue.
My question was, what happened to that black cop who choked out that girl who was trying to stop them from being possibly tasing this man to his death or pepper spraying him to his death? Like, what happened to her?
I wouldn't be able to tell.
I don't know what story you
my research on that one. I heard about it. I didn't know what happened in the later moments, but it just, you know, speaks to this narrative of officers and how they behave. And when somebody says defund the police, people act like we're saying take every single penny away from them.
Right.
And that's not the case. And just the insensitivity that you can't have a stance on all of the things that are right in front of our face is just preposterous. But let's continue with this guy from New Jersey, and y'all let me know what y'all think after we
just literally take money from.
Huh? No, you're right.
I was gonna say literally. I mean, they work for us. It's our tax money who pays their $60,000 a year salary. So
this is our tax money. Hard at work, everybody.
Respect authority.
Hard at work.
Them. That's what a jury.
Yesterday.
A jury heard evidence of this, right? And they convicted this man. That's what's been going on with police in this country. And black folks have been trying to tell the dominant white society for a long time. My channel has been around for a long time. And I've been telling people this has been going on for a long time. And no one listened. Only certain people within certain communities listened. Now,
it's a lot of black people who don't listen too. I hear a lot of black people and the people that look like me scream stuff like black on black crime and other terms and vernaculars that kind of perpetuate this police culture that we have in this country. But, you know, I can play it again if y'all want. I can get them out of here. But only reason I played it is because that's Jersey. We just played a cop before him from somewhere else. We live in Baltimore where the cop got killed the day before he was going to testify on the other cops.
Absolutely.
Right.
And me, that this is just coincidence. Oh, this just happening in y'all cities.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. No coincidence.
Because I hear a lot of people say, you know, the cops, they're doing their job and, you know, the cops shouldn't have to deal. But the cops are the biggest gang out here.
With guns.
So, you know, you can try to convince yourself, but you'll never, ever in a million years convince me.
I mean, they used to be peacemakers. They're bullies now.
What you
What's
got?
the difference?
What you got,
I
Mrs.
mean,
Allen?
that's it. You know, they used to be peacemakers. They were set to be peacemakers, but now they are bullies. They are bullies.
I wouldn't disagree.
I mean, probably the large majority of them were bullied in school. I'm just saying.
It was probably something.
If it don't apply, Mr. Officer, let that shit fly. I'm just saying.
But before y'all unpack, I said that there was a gang. Us, you jumped in. You said with guns, but let's not stop there.
Department. Our investigation found these deputies are allegedly encouraged to shoot people as part of their initiation. The California Attorney General launched a civil rights investigation into these claims last month. Maria Elena Salinas spoke exclusively with several deputies who claims these gangs have existed for decades. Maria Elena, good morning to you. This is very, very troubling stuff.
Wait, she talking about gangs or she talking about cops? No,
Right, cops, right?
gangs.
Shouldn't the FBI be investigating that?
Are y'all
who
listening?
investigates the police?
Cops are gangs. That would be internal affairs, my love.
Good morning, Gail. Yes, it is. You know, usually when we think of gangs, we think of street gangs like MS-13 or the Crips or the Bloods. CBS News spoke exclusively with current deputies out of the East Los Angeles station who claim that the LA Sheriff's Department has a huge problem.
It's crazy.
People. Currently, the most prevalent are the bandidos, comprised of mostly Latino deputies who serve predominantly African American and Latino neighborhoods. These deputies do not want to be identified for fear of reprisal. CBS News has agreed to blur their faces and substitute their voices.
It's based out of East LA, but you know members that have become banditos in East LA have been promoted and they've spread all over the county.
How do they identify themselves?
With a tattoo.
Is there an initiation process to join the gang?
You could say that. They could go from you getting a shooting or, you know, they do anything for these guys.
You said they get shootings. What do you mean by that?
If you get in a shooting, that's a definite brownie point.
And according to these deputies, to justify those shootings, they plant weapons on suspects.
There's been multiple occasions where they say, hey, we got a guy that has a gun and he's running from us. In reality, that person never had a gun. And they would say, oh, it was a phantom gun. It was something that really wasn't there.
So you have personally witnessed that?
Yes.
A lot of these officers are Latinos, so why are they targeting other Latinos? Is it racial profiling? Self-loathing?
I only stopped right there because she said racial profiling, self-loathing. Why she ain't say Latino on Latino crime?
No crime. Right?
Because again,
It's harder to say.
It's about how they depict you in media, and they want to depict black people, black on black crime, and the other crime that happens is just crime.
Senseless. Anything we do
Let's continue listening about the police gangs.
They do racial profile. It's like Latino gangs. They target other young Latinos.
Which is what Lisa Vargas has contended all along. Her 21-year-old son, Anthony Vargas, who aspired to be a chef, was shot 13 times by sheriff's deputies while on his way home.
You know, we have videos with his voice and his giggle, and we have to play that. You know, because we don't have his voice no more. We don't have his smile.
Lisa Vargas filed a lawsuit against the County of Los Angeles and the deputies who shot her son. The suit alleges that individuals who shot Anthony were members of the Bandidos gang or prospects, and that membership in the Bandidos gang included youth.
Welcome back to CBS This Morning.
Yeah. So
we always knew they was a gang.
Please miss me with all of that. You know, the police is the answer. And again, y'all notice that whenever something happens, the answer to the problem is more police. There was a shooting and a bunch of kids got hurt and the police ain't do nothing. What's the answer? Put more police over there.
More cops.
Wow.
Send more of them. More of them. More of them.
The crime is crazy in Chicago. What do? Send in the National Guards. That's more police.
Right.
Yeah, they're not creating any type of.
I feel like the parents need to come together. Your kids can go to private school. Everybody get a shift. We have at least 2 parents at the front door and 2 parents in the back door, wherever the entrance doors are, and everybody takes shifts and we protect our own community. That's my solution.
And that was a grassroots suggestion, right? Yeah. Just police
Just
out.
the ones who are home.
Yep.
You know, because you got some dads at home, moms at homes, but you know the dads that are at home.
Absolutely.
Feel free. Pull up to the school. Stand out there. Make sure them kids is acting right. Tell them, hey, cut that shit the fuck out.
Absolutely.
Or I will take your little ass home.
So what do y'all think about the police gangs? Let's go around. Let's go with AJ first. AJ, he's having a drink. Get yourself hydrated.
I was kind of laid back. This couch is swallowing.
Let it hit your throat. Pause.
Oh.
What do you think about the police gangs, sir?
I mean, they always been a gang. That's what they were. They originated as a gang. So why would it change now? Just because it's. I mean, like originally, what was the police they created for?
To catch the slaves.
Overseers. Overseer.
I was about to say that.
Officer.
I mean, they promote and give
I
illusion.
mean, I'm just saying it hasn't changed. It's just the game hasn't changed. Just the players just changed. You know what I mean? It's still the same shit.
Officer from overseer.
Right.
You call Corleone.
I feel like y'all know how I feel. So I feel like the overseers would have been like our managers at our jobs. I feel like that's our overseers. Police was made to catch slaves that was on the run and either beat them down or bring them home or whatever they're going to do. And they've been doing it ever since, and it's not going to stop. So until we as adults can take control of our schools, where we're paying these teachers with our tax money that we're giving to our overseers to provide for them, I feel like we need to step up as a people. Like you said, police our own communities. They had a job when they started, and they're not going to stop. We're still slaves in their eyes.
Absolutely. So let's get back to our program. We talked about the police. We were just made aware of the gangs, that they are the banditos. Watch out for them, y'all. Anybody in LA, shout out to my LA family. Y'all hold y'all head. Watch out for them banditos. They out here. So y'all know what it is. But we talking about doing things yourself. And we want to start to take our kids back. If it's possible for you to homeschool your kids, you should. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
You don't have to have a degree, you don't have to have a certification or any prior teaching experience. And I'm glad that you asked this question because I want to talk about it just real quickly. Having an educational background in your schooling or having a teaching certification or degree or whatever it may be prepares a person to teach in a classroom. And homeschooling is not the same. And I think
I hope everybody heard that. The people that watch later, you do not have to have certain qualifications and certificates in order to teach at home. It would be advantageous if you could.
Small amount of states who require you to have at least one parent have
But
to
for
have.
the most part, you can absolutely teach your child if you choose to.
I think a lot of the time we compare the two or try to recreate a public school or traditional school environment for our kids when we do homeschooling because that's what we're used to and that might be what we know. However, it is completely different, and creating something that works for you, for your kids, for your family in your homeschooling environment is going to be the key to being successful, not trying to recreate something. So although it may seem foreign or different, that is exactly what has to happen. And so there may be some uncomfortable times or uncertain times, but I created that guide specifically so I could take my teaching background and all of the things that I do feel are applicable to homeschooling and give you all of those things in one specific place. So not only is it kind of like picking my brain as a teacher, I wanted to put everything in terms that apply to homeschooling specifically that may help you to feel more confident in taking on that teaching role and adding it to your parenting responsibilities. So I hope that that answered your questions, and if you have any more, definitely let me know.
Shout out to the sister for that knowledge.
Or go follow her.
But we are
you're on that
absolutely,
journey.
advocates and admirers of homeschoolers, people who have the ability and the opportunity to homeschool their kids.
And that last statement is quite important. You as a parent having that confidence to feel that you're capable of doing it. Like she said, we all are all programmed to the public school system and how it was ran and how it functioned and its structure. So we try to bring that into homeschool, and sometimes that don't work. In homeschool, you have the freedom. You have the freedom to wake up a different time, to start with cooking something in the morning. You don't have to jump right into lessons, but you definitely have to have a structure, and you have to follow the curriculum of your state. So that's very important to find out, what's required to make sure everything is fulfilled. So when you get to the end of the school year, you don't have any issues.
Absolutely. The beauty for me was looking at how everything can be turned into a lesson, how you can take cooking and talk about how the heat is spontaneously combusting and how it's turning this form of matter, into this, and just the different things that you can take from just doing things around the house is still learning and going to find things. It's a scavenger hunt, and just the different ways that you can incorporate learning into being around the house. It's not as challenging as you would think. And the number one factor in that is because all of this stuff. Your ABCs
and it comes back
and your
to
1, 2, 3s, and if you can just recreate that and relearn that with your child, it's just it's beautiful to see. But at the end of the
You
day,
have the freedom to take a break.
It's absolutely worth to hear her education being dispensed at a pace and at a level in which she's ready for, you're ready for, and everybody's comfortable with.
She feels confident after.
Absolutely. AJ, what's your thoughts on homeschooling, man?
If it's possible to be done, it's cool. I don't have nothing against it. I don't know if I could do it, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think I necessarily have the patience.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it'll be for me. But I see Nikki doing it, and y'all doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple other people that do it, and they do a great job. So I have nothing against it. It's just something that I wouldn't even fathom thinking about.
No doubt. No, I mean that's how we started the show. And this DIY. The first thing it does is let you know limitations, your strengths, what you're capable of, what you don't gravitate to. So it's absolutely a matter of perspective and
right.
you want to tackle and what you don't. Brother Petty, what you think? Homeschool, yay, nay? What you got?
First, I have two things here. First, homeschooling, to each his own, right? Like, if you feel like it's better to homeschool your child, it's your child. You do whatever you feel is necessary for them to get the best schooling, right? Have no problem with that. If it works for a certain family, it works for it, right? But I just wanted to backtrack on when y'all was just talking about the police and like the gangs, right?
Okay.
Being military, right? I was never trained to wound nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trained to shoot, send a mass, 3 shots, chest, boom, 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 right? Your heart, just here, and like lungs or stomach, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
okay,
right, but like, you're not in the police. Get the same training. And before I got deployed, I was down there in Fort Jackson in South Carolina, right, and training with the SEALs, and that whole thing was, we're not training y'all to wound nobody. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the police. We're not training to wound. The cops are trained to shoot, sit the mass, and do bodily harm. Right? So it's just like if somebody gets shot by the cops where it's like 39, 49 shots and there's no gun, right? That's how they're fucking trained. They're not trained to shoot you in your arm, your leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, they train to shoot you to fucking kill. And until something like that changes, where if you absolutely feel like you are in harm's way and you have to take a life, then yes. But you have to feel like your life is threatened as well, right? That's the first law of nature. Self preservation. And I get that, but you just can't give a gun to somebody just because they graduated the police academy, because you don't know what their psyche is or what this is. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's just weird how in this country, okay, went through the all the that are 30. Like I said, they are trained to kill. They're not trained to de-escalate. They're not trained to talk down. No, they're trained. If they see something that looks like a gun, I'm going to kill you so I can go home to my wife or husband, whatever the case. Right?
right.
So it's a little weird.
And understandable, but it's a certain level of professionalism that they're not held to just by that standard alone. Because, again, I stand on America's a big situations that just call for a little bit of selection. And, in America, they put cops on the TV that shoot you in your arm and your hand, shoot the gun out your hand. It's just so many other different things that can be done versus taking a life. But I do understand what you're saying. You guys have to make it home. Ultimately, that's the goal. And, above all else, you shoot first, you ask questions next, and make sure that you're the one that go home. So I completely understand, from
Yeah, and what's bad is, like, if somebody was to break into my house, God forbid, my trainer will kick in, and I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to shoot you in your arm. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's based on how I was trained. I'm trying to murk your ass because you violated my fucking space. And that's how the cops feel. It's like, dude, you violated my space or whatever. And
Well, here's the thing, Oz. They don't get to shoot everybody. Check this out. We got some instances where it happens to go like this.
Yes, sir. Roll your window down for me, please. I can hear you just fine. So I'm going to have to ask you to roll the window down. I can hear you just fine, officer. There's my license. To roll the window down, please. I can hear you just fine, officer. There's my license. There's my registration. Or my insurance. Is there some reason you can't roll the window down? I saw you roll it up. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. You don't answer questions? That's correct. What's the reason for that? I don't answer questions. Do you want my license and
You gotta love America when a guy says, I don't answer questions, and the first thing you say is, what's the reason for
Right,
that?
why?
Which
Right.
is a question.
Right, that's it. Right, and that's his right. And a lot of people, until you know your rights as a motorist, not just a U.S. citizen, but as a motorist who drives a car. It's like all you have to show them is that you have a license, registration, if you have a gun inside the car.
That sounds good.
Well, yeah, yes, it does.
Theoretically.
It sounds good.
People, right? It sounds good for a certain pig.
Let me not cooperate. Let me not cooperate, us. Let us not cooperate, us. You know exactly how it's going down. So don't do that.
No. What I'm saying is this guy, he I can't see his face, but he sounds like he's right. It's a totally different.
So let me ask you, AJ, you saying we have no right to do what he's doing right now?
No, I'm not saying we don't have the right to. I'm just saying it's not going to go down like that.
Right.
Go that smoothly.
Right.
It's not. I mean, like, it's not. That goes 0 to 10 in no time. As soon as you say I'm not answering no questions.
Okay.
Right, but here's the thing. Once you say I'm not answering no questions, then just be silent. Don't answer nothing. But he's steady saying, why you not answering questions? You're answering. You know what I mean? Just here's my license, registration, this, that, and third, and keep it pushing. If that shit comes back as I'm clean, let me go. But that's not how it happens for us, granted, but that's how it should. And I see your point. Been like that, you know.
No, you gotta do what that motherfucker asks you to do. I'll tell you that.
I mean, and that's different training. It's different training. If you know your rights and you're confident and secure in your rights, you should be safe. You know what I mean? Because with that window crack, he can hear him perfectly fine. If you give him all the necessary tools, like what is the officer threatened? Does he need to shoot through the glass? You understand what I'm saying? Like he can't because it's locked.
But you've seen plenty of situations with that little crack right there. That officer breaks that window and say, "Now you can't roll your window down." You know what I mean? Then what?
And it's fucked up, but that's
right. We absolutely get your point. You know, now equipped with these cameras,
fucked up, right?
Man, cameras is still here thing at this point.
Right away. And honestly, you can make them aware that they're being video recorded, you know, so that, you know, and you have a right to because you're a citizen. I mean,
let's see what happens with this.
Have classes.
Registration or not? Pronounce your last name for me. I don't answer questions. I'm going to need you to pronounce your last name. I don't answer questions. It's there on the license.
There on the license. Hey, yeah.
It's there on the license. What you need to enunciate it for.
Right. Motherfucker, you should have took English, you starving bitch. Fuck out of here. Learn how to read.
Is
No.
he innocent until proven guilty, or does he look more guilty until proven innocent?
Bruh.
When you know your rights, he's innocent. They have to prove
Exactly.
him guilty.
Okay.
You know, it's different when you're not confident in knowing your rights. You know what I mean? Like, it's been plenty of times when we got pulled over and you would just, your confidence in knowing your rights made it go smoothly, you know, and being calm, because it's always a thing when we get pulled over. More so black people, I'm sure, but you know,
Okay.
it should be classes. You know, it's not something that's taught in school. We're kind of trained in our communities to fear, like, look, they're not good folks. They run their own gangs and shit. Like, so you can't be confident in that, you know, you're going to make it home after even
Right.
following all the rules.
Yeah, and that fucking sucks. Like if we were not a people of, dude, when I fucking drive and I'm like speeding, I check all 3 fucking mirrors. Not for nothing, but it's like maybe there's a cop behind me. I'm going to speed regardless. Like all my shit is good, but it's the thing of like, and like I will see a cop on like the side of the road. Yeah, I will slow down. Boom, 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 right? But one time I slowed down and the cop pulled out. So I don't know who this nigga chasing. He could be chasing me. Thank God he wasn't chasing me. But it's like, we don't, and people of non-color will fly by the cop doing 90. Don't care. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely
Don't
different.
give a fuck.
Definitely different.
It's definitely different.
Definitely a fucking difference.
I know all my shit is good. What am I getting nervous for?
Right, you know what I'm saying? And I know my shit is good, but I'm just gonna slow down over GP. And that's the fucking, and that's what his guy was like. I don't answer questions, but he's suddenly asking me questions. That's your right.
Absolutely.
Here is my license, here's my this, here's my that. I'm not answering nothing. Don't ask me nothing.
I'm not scared of cops. I'm not scared of cops or anything. I mean, they're humans just like I am.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to my appearance, I don't like to entice anything. So when it comes to, and I don't like being disrespected. So as soon as he disrespects me, it's a whole different thing. So to alleviate that, I just, yes sir, no sir, keep it moving. I know my stuff is good, so I've been pulled over just because they wanted to run my tags.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
They
So
will
like
follow you for miles just to run your shit.
Just to run my tags.
That's
Was I doing
crazy.
something wrong? No, I just wanted to. It was just a routine pull, routine stop. Okay. But if you found anything, it'd have been a problem. Oh, okay.
So let's take a look before we roll out of here. Let's take a look at one fella who knows exactly what he's talking about. He looks like us, and he's not scared of them, not one bit. So let's take a look at him before we roll out of here.
Can we see some ID? No, what for? I just what's your probable cause to ask me for ID? It does not have a handicap placard. Read the plate, man. You don't even know what you're talking about. DV. That's disabled. Police Academy. That's your business. That's your business. I wear it all the time. Do my training. I can do that because I'm a graduate. I can wear the uniform. I can wear it. Of course. I have my certification. What are you talking about? Why don't you run the plate? Why don't you run the plate? Run the plate, man. I gave you this. And what did you see? You had to see the certification. Contact T-Cone. Why don't you contact them? You saw my name. Call T-Cone.
TCOL stands for Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, which serves as a regulatory agency for all peace officers in Texas.
Yeah, run it. Run it. Call T-Cone. But you have no justification or probable cause to run up on me. Yeah. Who was the academy director when you were there? Contact them. Who is it? Ask him. Navarro College, call him.
Well, the reason I did
Call
that,
him.
I know they just graduated.
Call him. You could have done all of that. You could have done all of that while I was inside.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know where you are. I know about Joshua Believe PD. I know. Yeah.
Well, you know
Yeah.
Where'd you graduate?
I don't have to tell you anything. Don't ask me any questions because I'm not answering. Yeah. What? Why? You're detaining me? No. Then my question is, are you detaining me? Okay, so then don't tell me where to go. No. Okay, well, you need to find out because I'm going to walk away from you, get in my car, and drive away. So you need to find out from him.
Do you mind holding off on leaving until I find out what's going on to see if you're to ask him? Because that's my captain. He's in charge of this.
He's not too smart because first of all, even you know, if I have disabled
He ain't lying there. None of them are really that bright.
veteran plate, I can park in a handicapped spot. Even you know that. No, they didn't just change that. It's been that way.
Well, it started in September. It was that way.
No, sir. It's been that way for years. I've had this for 5 years. It's already been that way. And if he's a captain, he should have known that. But he didn't. He just saw this, and he saw this, and he wanted to make a problem.
It's brown skin.
That's your reputation, Joshua. Come on, man. Yes, it is. How many black officers you got? One.
Now, again, we see the people in California. We talked about the ones in Baltimore. We had the one way before. Where you from? We got these right here in Texas. And he said, I know about y'all. Everybody knows that y'all racist. I feel like police officers y'all got on y'all force.
One. I know. And you barely let him in. Barely let him in. And your reputation is already bad. From years ago, you had a corruption scandal. You had to get rid of a lot of your PDs.
Way before I got here.
And you got one.
That was way before I got here. Like, that makes it better.
Are you finished? I gotta go. Are you finished?
My favorite part coming.
The one where
Check T code. Did you call Navarro?
he did call me.
Okay, so then you're feeling small now, aren't you? You should have run up on people. You have no probable cause. If you wanted to follow me and run my place, you could have done that. Well, I don't have to talk to you. That's right. I already told you that. Waste my time and you. You're supposed to be a captain, and you don't know the disabled plates have a right to park in a parking spot. And you violating people's rights, running up on them without probable cause. I'm in a uniform doing the same thing for you for free. So what? I don't care what he thinks. I'm a graduate and I have T code certification. So I don't care what he says. I have T code certification. Yes, I do. That's what you checked it. Who says who? My certification doesn't say expired. You want it to be expired because you see brown skin. So take a walk. Walk of shame, Captain. Don't run up on me again. Don't ever you run up on me again. You understand? And learn the law. And you better have probable cause before you run up on somebody in uniform. You don't have no reasonable.
Not on the same side as them.
You probably couldn't even pass the test.
That was my favorite part. Did y'all hear him tell him he's so fat he probably couldn't even pass the test right now?
Fat bastard.
And this is what we got patrolling and controlling. And that's the theme that I see in all of the clips that I played. The police just want to control situations. Even when you tell them you're not asking questions, the first thing they do is ask you a question.
Why not? Nigga, I just said I'm not answering no questions.
They run up on you. You got tags. You got everything that you need that they can do the proper research as cops. They can do some detective work and actually detect.
Yeah, detect these nuts.
Wow. You stressing the car.
But
that's parked
again,
in
you
the
know, we
handicap.
get these people who talk about, you know, it's one apple in the box with the rest of the apples, and they just all fucking apples to me. You can talk about the police ain't gonna chase anybody anymore. The police don't want to chase anybody in the
They're
first.
shooting them.
You gotta be kidding me. All of these fat motherfuckers walking around talking about they don't want to chase nobody. No.
I don't have to. I'm gonna shoot your ass from 90 yards. Like, what?
They're not capable of chasing anyone.
And all the gear you gotta wear, it makes it even heavier. That's like an extra 20 pounds on top of the extra weight they already got going on.
Between the ones that's, you know, selling drugs and the other ones that's in the game, and then the ones that testify on the other ones and then get killed, and then the ones that just pull people over, and the ones, please convince yourself, because you're not convincing me. My name is Mr. He Said.
He wrong for that, baby.
Right, but see, like, you have to say it's not all cops are like that. Not all.
You go ahead and say it.
I'm just saying. So like I've came across, you know, some cops where I was like speeding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got pulled over. Okay, blah blah blah. He asked license registration, and then he said, "Do you have a weapon inside the car?" And I'm saying, "Yeah, it's in right here, and it's a permit for this, that, and the third." You know what I mean? So they all not assholes.
Okay,
that's
no question. Let's go. Hold on. You know, we gotta go there.
I can agree with that.
Your identification, was it military identification?
Well, I wasn't in the military, but I did, you know, show them my military ID and my driver's license, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta make sure you handle
You
that
think
too.
if you didn't show them your military identification, it would have went the same way?
Well, I don't give them a chance to, you know what I mean? Shit, I know what side of my bread is buttered, nigga.
I hear you.
You know
Now,
what I mean?
I'm on AJ's side now.
That's kind of a free pass, depending on, you know, who's stopping you. It's kind of a,
Definitely get a free pass. That's like you being a firefighter or another cop.
No, not true, because I was in Virginia, son, and I got pulled over and I showed them my license. They don't even give a fuck.
Virginia don't care if you are a cop, if you are
still black first in Virginia.
Yeah, granted,
you're in Virginia, bro. Virginia don't give a shit.
You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, nigga, you're going down. So I did
that was the worst.
Yeah, I hated Virginia, and if I have a chance to drive around Virginia to get anywhere, I'm driving around that bitch.
I'm trying to tell you, man, Virginia's the worst, bro.
Trust
you don't want to get pulled over in
10
Virginia.
years. I hate Virginia. I don't even like West Virginia. I don't give a fuck, nigga.
West Virginia even worse.
Right, it's even worse. It's like, yeah, let me.
Oh yeah, well, no, West Virginia. Yeah, oh please. Yo, we went to West Virginia. We went to Snowshoe Mountain to do some.
Oh man, I bet you won't never go there again.
We did some skiing. No, I won't. You are absolutely right. So we got stuck in the snow, and we had to have the tow truck driver come and pull us out. And the tow truck driver got stuck. But that wasn't the best part. The best part was we sitting in, he got himself out, he got us out. We sitting in his car and he's driving back. And he turns.
Yeah, we know.
Wait. What'd you say, son? You froze,
bro.
He said this is the type of place that people marry their sister.
Yeah, West Virginia, where your father
and
your uncle.
Yeah, you got funkles.
You know what I'm saying? You got you got
funkles. You got funkles and
bunkles.
Sunfuse.
Right. Yeah. The most confusing day in West Virginia is Father's Day, nigga. What?
Experience. But yo, we're gonna get everybody final thoughts. Doing things yourself. Mrs. Harris, what say you?
Oh man, I like DIY. It saves a lot of money. I think for you, it saves a lot of money. For a wife, for a wife to have all this hair,
And
you know,
nails
never
and
having to
feet.
go. I just said to my mother this morning, I
Everything.
said, I may have ever in my whole life have spent maybe $200 on like manicure pedicures. You know, unless I was treated by mom or, you know, on a date with the kids or something like that.
Absolutely.
Hair salon, every time I went, I was not satisfied. So, you know, did a little cosmetology school until I couldn't do it no more. I was in a car accident. So it gave me some tools. But yeah, it's definitely a plus. Saved a lot of money. Kids in this house, head full of hair. So it's definitely a plus to be able to, you know, do that on your own and not have to pay an outside source, you know, for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being a detailed cleaner, you know, being detailed oriented and, you know, in that room.
Okay. Brother AJ, what you got, man? DIY, do it yourself, man. What do you do yourself, AJ? Do you change your oil? What do you do, my brother?
I do all my car maintenance.
See that? You see that? How did I know that?
Can we call you for an oil change?
I need a transmission change, 2 engine changes,
Yeah,
and
I do all. I mean, when it gets to like stuff where you need like machinery and all that, I don't mess with that. But all of the general maintenance, spark plugs, brakes, rotors, all that stuff, I do all that stuff myself.
okay. Shout out to you.
It saves money. You know what I mean? You go to a dealership or whatever, your brakes and rotors will cost you like $300-400, where the brakes themselves only cost $40, and then all you gotta just put them on yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's just the whole thing about doing it yourself is the inconvenience of learning it. A lot of people don't want to sit down and be bad at something before they're good at it.
But once you get it done, isn't it rewarding?
Yes.
Karma checked in. She said, I support myself musically. I'm my only investor, and I'm okay. 7/3 Dream Mega Lounge on July the 3rd. Dream Mega Lounge. Tell them you there to see me. Be you. Shout out to Karma Coleon for checking in. We love her so much. One of the dopest underground artists out. Check her out everywhere social, and she's going to be in Dream Mega Lounge on July 3rd. We're probably going to be in the building too if our schedule aligns, but you know, you never know what happens. Brother Petty, talk to me. Talk to me nice. It was just Father's Day.
I know, and happy Father's Day. And happy Father's Day, AJ. But I can tell you this right here. I've told you this before. These hands are made for slicing onions and cutting and flipping with spatulas. I'm not doing shit. If I have the means, I'm gonna call somebody to come fix this shit. I don't fuck about nothing. I'm not changing my oil. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And maybe I should probably it's not like I don't know how to do it. It's YouTube.
That's real. That's real.
You know what I mean? But fuck that. This is not what these hands are made for. If something inside this house break, I'm calling the local whomever. But I always support black. So if you Mexican, I love you, but no, I need Jerome, not Pablo. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fixing shit. I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, it feels good to do it yourself, but I'm not built like that to like fix shit. So I'm not mechanically inclined. I'm just not. And I feel like
you know what you good at it.
Right, you know what I mean? And I would probably do more harm than good, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, I'm gonna call whoever I need to call to come fix this shit, and here's the price tag, and thank you for fixing it. But like, I will plant trees and flowers outside with Babe. That's about the extent of my DIY. Like, I'll like dig holes like that, but I'm not fixing nothing that I know I can't fix. Sorry, I'm just not doing it.
Hold on. Hold on. Karma like that, support black owned. I hear that. Jerome, not Pablo. She like that. Okay. Mrs. Harris, did you jump in there? You
I
jumped in there,
did.
right? AJ jumped in. I'm last, right?
It saves money, man.
Yeah, DIY definitely
Definitely
audience, man, creates a little bit of knowledge, and I'm with us too. When you want to, pay for something, you want that level of expertise, you want that hands off. I'm not doing it. Absolutely, you pay the cost to be the boss. Absolutely, you get that out there and you go. But it definitely saves change. I do a lot of clothes and my tattoos, and I cut my hair. I don't go to the barbershop every week, but I might go monthly and hit myself up on the shape up for a couple of weeks and taper 1 week and then go to the barbershop. So, economizing, especially nowadays when inflation and everything is just different. I'm just a little more selective on what I'm doing. I'm still going out, but I'm not, doing everything like I usually do, just because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. And you always want to be prepared, and you always want to have that level of discipline that, don't have to partake in everything all the time. So, DIY definitely helps us get through that. Sometimes we got to throw, some music on in the house and get by like that. Yeah. And sometimes we got to
sat still for a long time. We know how to do it.
Absolutely. So,
Right.
not to say that
Know how to do it
it's
well.
mandatory, and not to say that we doing it because it's out of necessity and we have to, but sometimes we just want to jump in and out of different ropes and, see that we can exercise certain levels of discipline in different arenas. So, we suggest everybody do some things yourself, some things, be like ours, pay that cost, be the boss, put your hands in the back of your head like this, let your shoulder, your elbow stick out.
Right.
I mean, just sign the check. You know what I mean? So we absolutely get that. So we love each and every last one of y'all. We be back next week with something fire and original content. We're gonna try to do a lot less of the memes and a lot less sounds and just have
Spicy and drama filled.
Heavy conversation, a lot more, adult conversation, because don't everybody do it like us. And
so we've been told.
Then happy to continue the conversation in a fruitful.
Speaking of which, AJ, this goes out to you. I sent you the
Hold up. Tell me now. Tell me what.
I sent you the link on it's called like Zola to RSVP. I don't know if you did it or not.
It's on what? My email or Facebook? What?
I sent it to your Facebook Messenger.
I don't know. I got that. Just send me a hi or a thumbs up or something so I can see it again.
No,
I do it right now.
Just back. 100 messages back.
But to say, listen.
You go to your search engine and start to put in his name, and he would
I know.
Top of the list.
I got. What's his name? What's his name on Facebook?
Just to see if we can get on the same page, because I'm not sure what day he want us there. It might be unique. So let's talk behind the scenes.
All
right. Shout out to you, man. Hope everybody is good. Have a great week. We are He Said, She Said, love in a biggity.
If you have not subscribed to this page, please subscribe right now.
Hit it.
Like and share. We appreciate y'all.
Hit the button and just come through.
Thank God it's
Friday,
Friday,
know what
y'all.
we doing. You never know how we looking, what we wearing. You never know if we using mics with cords, cordless mics. You don't know if we sitting at the desk. You don't know what we doing. You don't know if we showing a commercial. But we here, man. Tonight we talked about doing it yourself. It was a dope conversation. Shout out to everybody that checked in. Mrs. Harris.
Do it yourself.
We'll get somebody to do it for you. Just make sure they do it right.